much for staying tuned. I really want to say a big welcome to you here to today's edition of This Morning on ITV. I am Wilson Omasha. Today is all about what is happening in the country, and some are saying that our nation, from their own analysis, that Nigeria is under siege. Because it's been this resurgence of the activities of Boko Haram. It's like the North. Yes, we know about the North right now. It's beginning to trickle down. Is it trickling down, or it's already down there in the southeast, southwest, south, you just name it? How can we get out of this? President Trump sounded a very, very serious warning, saying, "I just come, guns are blazing," because of what he felt is happening to Christians in Nigeria. And the question now is, Christians, Muslims, traditional practitioners, believers, are they safe in this country? No matter the religion you practice. But some are saying it's coming from a particular religion that are accusing the Islamic religion of being behind all this. But still we have some good Muslims. But the argument is that if you take a look at the videos, the clip, all the prayers being said is done in Islamic language. But does that mean that all Islamic believers or practitioners are evil? That's a question people are trying to navigate through. The answer is a huge no. Because we have some good Muslims. So what is really going on? Some are beginning to propagate some theories saying that once Nigeria can fall under Islamic rule, then the whole West African province will be conquered. Is that what is really going on? Lots and lots of questions emanating, and today we'll try to find answers to all of this. Today, no holds back. Everybody's going to speak their mind, the way they feel about this. And if you have anything to say about what they are saying, you can simply react. Yes, write your own opinions, because it's really getting too much. What is going on? What is happening? The North, the South, the East, the West? Or does it have a political undertone? That's our question. We'll try to find solution. Is all this about 2027? Discredit the government of the day, then they will hate him and chase him off office. Or discredit his government, make it ungovernable so that the military can come take over. These are theories being propagated by so many Nigerians. So we'll try to really delve into the bottom of this matter to unearth what in the world is going on. Is Nigeria safe for you as a citizen? Lots and lots of questions begging for answer. Now that is on one hand. On the other hand, we move straight down to the verdict. Yes, Nnamdi Kanu life imprisonment sentence and other sentences, and people have been talking about it, reacting. Some are saying it was a good call. Others are saying no, it is not a good call because it's not fair. They give so many examples of Boko Haram terrorists, them just being arrested, rehabilitation and freed. And this man, according to them, he made comment, but they didn't kill anyone. Why would you use separate measures to judge him? That is one theory making the round. Others are saying, look, since you are there saying you want to leave, you want to secede, that is a crime against the state, a crime against the country. You instigated murder with the words that you said, that means you're liable, so life imprisonment. And it's a fair judgment according to some other persons. What's more saying, if that's the case, how about people that have two guns, two grenades, took everything to kill people? You know they kill people, but you granted them amnesty. Two separate opinions clashing in the opinion polls of Nigerians regard the particular judgment. How do you think this can be resolved? All these and more. We'll take a look at the installment of this morning on ITV. Well, in the course of the show, we'll take a look at what the papers have in store for us this beautiful Sunday morning. After that, we'll start off with our discussion segment, and I promise you that is going to be expository, so you don't want to miss any part of this discussion. Then after that, of course, you should go to church. Yeah, but stay with me, and after this show, definitely you find your way to church. Good morning, welcome aboard TMI Sunday's edition, the first edition for the week with Wilson Omasha. Right now, we'll go on a break. When we return, it's all about the papers. To stay.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy. Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy. Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI reaching you live from Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. Well, To start off today's discussion segment is all about the security situation in Nigeria, the resurgence of the activities of Boko Haram. That is what we are diving into right now. Most persons are saying that what is happening right now is like Nigeria is unsafe, that Nigeria is not safe. You go to the north, you know the stories, and they're beginning to propagate that is trickling down, or the south, southeast, southwest. They've been infiltrated by this particular set of terrorists. And some of the opinion that this might just have to do with politics. Others are saying, no, this is religion. That is like, they want to Islamize Nigeria. So many theories, so many propaganda. We want to dive deep down into this particular situation. This we can profile solution. In Iowa, also, you heard the story. If you've been in Iowa, get to hear about people coming out to protest about the kidnappings. And they ascribe this to a particular tribe. I wouldn't want us to ascribe this to any tribe or religion, but let's get to hear what my analysts really have to say about this particular discussion. They are entitled to their opinions. If they have an opinion to say and they air it, well, if you're not comfortable with it, you can come to ITV to say what XYZ said on this platform isn't true. All right? So whether they bring up their theories or not, you just listen to what they have to say. Take note. If you don't agree, you can call to the management and say, look, XYZ said this. I want to react. It's a right for fair hearing. We invite you over, you air your own view. That's why we are here, because Nigeria is for all of us. If Nigeria should sink today, where do you think you will go to? Anyway, with me here in the studio is a legal practitioner, political affairs commentator. He's been on for a while. Thank God for life, thank God for good health, thank God for successful treatment. But I said before, most, I'm so glad you're able to join me this morning. It's like, how many months now? How many months now? I was like, come on.
About 7 months.
See that?
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
All right. Good morning,
To
Barrister.
you. Good morning to viewers at home.
It's so good to see you, Barrister. It's so good to see you. Thank God for life. All right. Joining us virtually, all the way from Lagos, Honorable Paul Ogido IEWC. Honorable Paul, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
So, God has helped us.
Oh, no. Honorable Fred, thank you so much.
You know, we are very religious people, whether Islam, whether Christianity, whether even the traditional religion, we believe in God.
All right, just calm down. When it's time for us to dive into the discussion, definitely we will dive into the discussion. It's like they're having this communication. Look, all communication via Zoom should stop right now. All right, I'm the one asking the question. I know you guys are talking to each other. Stop it right now and focus, okay? They've seen the report, they've seen Honorable Fred Alevero, and of course I have Odigie Owadiai all the way from the US. Honorable, thank you so much for joining us, though virtually. Can you hear me, Honorable Odigie? Okay, well, all right, thank you so much for joining us. Can you please sit upright? You are slouching. Okay. Let me start off with Barrister A.B. Thomas. It is becoming worrisome. It is becoming alarming. It is becoming annoying. What is happening? From what we were told some few years ago, we were able to checkmate Boko Haram. They are in splinters right now. They're like, fleeing because of the superiority of our Nigerian military. But right now, it's like they're everywhere. What's going on?
Thank you. Boko Haram has been an illegal organization that was set out to Islamize Nigeria. Their own attitude was that, it is wrong or bad to have Western education. They started out like that to create, first and foremost, a Muslim monolithic society. Unfortunately, within themselves, even among thieves, you must have division. So they started having a splinter group, and Islamic, say for West Africa, ISWAP, also joined them. And the scramble for and the partition of northern Nigeria, they themselves started having different factions without a unified group. Unfortunately, the Nigerian governments, successive governments in Nigeria, have been playing politics with this Boko Haram issue. If you look at the Boko Haram issue right from 2011 to today, look at the money, amount of money that the National Assembly has been budgeting for defense. You'll be surprised that little or nothing has been achieved. The question has been, what have we been doing with these weapons, the money budgeted for these weapons? Another point has been the fact that we have not taken the issue of Boko Haram and other insurgents seriously, in the sense that when they attack in Borno State, we term them as Boko Haram. When they go to Zamfara or Sokoto, we call them bandits. When they go to Benue, Plateau, Nasarawa, we say, oh, they are herdsmen versus farmers. We have been busy giving different terminologies because no government has been willing to take them headlong because of their own political calculations. When you are having this kind of crisis, security crisis, you have to forget whether they are Muslims, they are Christians, they are this tribe or the other tribe. You go ahead to eradicate that problem. But in Nigeria, because of, oh, I want the votes from the north, I want the votes from the south, we are unable to deal decisively with these people who create insecurity in the country, who give us bad name everywhere. Take the issue of Chibok girls. When Jonathan was the president, they went ahead to say, oh, you want to kill our people. You want to kill our people. Those ones came, abducted Chibok girls. Today, 90% of those Chibok girls have not been returned. Why will a government? Because the first priority of a government under the Constitution is the safety of lives and property. That's what the Constitution says. So a government that cannot guarantee the safety of lives and property anywhere within Nigeria, that government has failed. They even went as far as, these people now in power now, went as far as governing themselves, led by the former president, who is late now, went to America to be asking that America should intervene. America did intervene diplomatically, and at the end of the day, Jonathan was forced out. But since Jonathan left, has it gone down? No, it has become worse. And when the killings in Plateau and Benue, the Nasarawa, became too much, they started to spread to Niger State. From Niger, it went to Kwara. And now, Yorubas are afraid, because once you are in Kwara, which ought to be part of the old Western region, then they infiltrate Yoruba land. And from there, it goes into Lagos. And now we are hearing that people in Lagos should be careful, people in Port Harcourt should be careful. It means it is spreading down south.
All right. I'll come back to you, Barrister A.B. Thomas. Now let's get to hear from Honorable Odigie Owadai. Let's hear what he has to say about this latest development. Honorable Odigie, over now to you. What's your take on the resurgence of Boko Haram?
Well, good morning. This thing has been going on for years, and we have been talking about it for those that care to listen. And just like I always say, I don't want to come and dramatize what is going on. I'm here to speak true to the fact. And we all know the genesis of this Boko Haram, or the terrorist group. They've been around, even right from the time of Obasanjo, and it was more of like a gradual process. We remember vividly when the then governor of Zamfara State, Yerima, introduced Sharia. And Obasanjo wanted to object, but the security report that was in front of Obasanjo for a former military man to take a position that, I quote, leave him, it will soon fizzle out. That little mistake, decision that Obasanjo made is what is spread it today. And Sharia has spread across the northern states. But unfortunately, Obasanjo did not address that issue because of the security. You know why Obasanjo did not address the issue? This, terrorist group, Boko Haram, whatever you want to call it, it is bigger than the Nigerian army. They have come, they have thrown the Hausans, the Kanuriks, using them as tools to ensure the spread of Islam. Now, the problem with us is that everybody, regardless whether it is the military, whether it is the politician, they are all involved. Now, let me give you a typical example. During the time of Jonathan, when they arrested or when they kidnapped the Chibok girls, Jonathan invited the Americans, the military. Few from the security report, few of the military officers that attended that meeting with the Americans, they were told that they can liberate those girls within 48 hours by gassing the whole of them, both the terrorists and the girls. But the information leaked out, and that was why America pulled away. And I also remember that Jonathan said, my government has been infiltrated by these same terrorists. So they are something more than we, the ordinary person, can see. We need to see the security report. Now, the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, is being surrounded by terrorists. Let me give you an example. When Tinubu was searching for a vice president, they presented the current vice president. Yeah, is it Shetima Yerima, whatever his name is? The issue where what played out during the time of Kabiru Sokoto came into discussion, but they prevailed on him, and you must take him. It is one of us. Can you have such a person as your vice president, and who will also attend security meetings? Immediately after that, remember, Yerima told us that he will be responsible for the security, while the president will be responsible for economy. And the unrepentant terrorist, El-Rufai, said he was going to be in charge of NXA. These are all facts in front of everybody. Who brought Boko Haram to Nigeria?
Okay.
Shetima, the vice president. Go and ask,
I'll come back to you, Honorable.
Not done yet. There are so many. There's so many. How to mention names?
I'll come back to you. You just calm down. I'll come back to you. Well, he raised a fact that when campaign was ongoing, definitely the vice president, according to reports, was, Point to have said that we take care of security, Mr. President will take care of economy, but right now there seems to be a collapse. Well, let's get to hear from Honorable Paul Ogido Aigi. We say, Honorable Paul, now what do you feel about this situation before we dive deeper into this discussion?
Good morning, my brothers in the studio. Good morning, my good people of Edo State. It's my pleasure to be here again this morning. Happy Sunday to all of you. The security situation in Nigeria has become something I would call unbearable pain. It has become unbearable. Everybody now feels the heat of what is going on. When we first started hearing about Boko Haram, many of us down the south thought and believed that it was a northern problem. But today, it is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf that there is no part of this country that is not going to feel the heat of the insecurity. And of course, everyone is feeling the pain of insecurity right now. Well, it is like this because our leaders, the political elite, have not been able to differentiate between politics and governance. And this is the very basis of our problem. Why it becomes so cumbersome? Why it now looks as if nothing can be done? Why it now looks as if Nigeria as a country is helpless concerning this menace of insecurity? Is because our elites, they are not able to differentiate politicking from governance. Imagine politicizing the killings of valuable souls of Nigerians. Thousands upon thousands have died in the hands of these terrorists. And it was even difficult. It is even difficult for the government to come out openly to declare them as terrorists. And the sabotage in the system is the biggest problem we are having in tackling insecurity. I don't want to agree with any school of thought that will say the problem is bigger than the Nigerian army. No. Not the Nigerian army that we know. The problem is not bigger. It only seems bigger than them because those are the helms of affairs, those in the seat of power. They are using that power to deter the military from being able to fight and win this battle. And that's what we are seeing. Nigeria is not close. I mean, those in government are not close to tackling insecurity. The day they get ready to sincerely tackle this menace, I tell you, it will not take months for Nigeria to overcome this insecurity. First, they have made us to understand that the people perpetrating this evil, majority of them are not from this country. Now, that brings us to the question of, if they are not from this country, where are they from? And how did they get into this country? If they are here and they are not citizens of this country, why do anybody think it will be difficult to fish them out and place them where they belong? A situation where some are tying it, some are losing it, people are sympathizing with terrorists that are exterminating our people. That is appalling. So I think in the course of this discussion, we'll begin to look at the solutions.
All right.
I want to tell.
All right, you just sort of, I'll come back to you, Honorable Paul Ogido. Now let's get to hear from Fred. Fred from Onwa. I believe that your people have had their own fair share of insecurity. Now, with the resurgence of Boko Haram, what's your overview of the situation?
Thank you so much, my distinguished guests and Nigerians and Edo State. Honorable Wilson, I will call you honorable today because you have been very honorable in discharging your duties to the Nigerian people. The issue of insecurity in Nigeria has escalated to the extent that even when you are sleeping, you are not sleeping. It means that what that simply is going to do to our body is that we will be having unrest. It means that that alone can even kill you before the insecurity gets to you, because that itself is insecurity. I also want to sympathize with Nigerians for the loss of a great military general who has gotten to his peak of his career and was just killed like a common criminal, you know. And in the past, they say that when you touch one soldier, you have touched the whole soldier. But unfortunately, what I even expected, I didn't see it from even the army themselves. Because by now, we should have heard that the army has chased all these guys away, whether within or outside. I can assure you that from my own side in Onwa here, the insecurity here is getting worse. Yesterday, one of my brother was traveling. I said, why did he not pass through Sobe? He said they just kidnapped somebody along Sobe. And he heard the information. He had to pass through Urekman, which is more farther from Benin to Ora. And why? Because he had to secure himself. I can assure you that some of these challenges are premeditated with conspiracy and greed and what I call, you know, internal rottenness within the military and all security agencies, I must tell you. How can you explain to me that, you know, when you make a plan, then the terrorists, I call them terrorists, I don't want to call them any other thing, they are terrorists in Nigeria. Whether they disguise as cattle rearers, whether they disguise as kidnappers, they are terrorists and should be treated and named as such. How would the government agencies, the security agencies, make a plan? And the next thing is that the terrorists are already fully aware, 100% about the plan, and they will have an antidote to such plan so that they can sabotage it. It means that the biggest problem we have is the infiltration of terrorism into all security agencies. They cannot deny it because that's why there's no success. Secondly, the biggest problem that is confronting us is the issue of money. When I say money, I mean that when this subject go down, it means that the budget will stop. And if the budget stops, those who are feeding very fat from this budget in the name of insecurity and fighting terrorism, they won't have money to siphon. The government must understand that if they genuinely want this country to work, they have to make it possible that they torchlight this, because we are relying on them, whether the police, the DSS, the army, and even the NIA. We are relying on them in this country for safety. But I can assure you that if a military general is captured, killed, it means that we, the ordinary citizen, we have a bigger problem. As because of this discussion goes on, like my brother said, we will have to find a solution. And I would want the ITV, whatever solution we provide here should be amplified and made viral and communicated properly. So the appropriate authority start keeping
They are watching. They are watching. I will come back to you, Honorable Fred. I will come back to you. You just calm down. We have from now till 10 o'clock to really talk about issues. So you just take a breather. Before I know it is like 2 hours already. Well, we want to go for a break. When we return, I'm going to be asking Barrister A.B. Thomas this question. Someone talked about the mistake that Obasanjo made, talking about Honorable Odigie. He said Obasanjo made a mistake by saying they'll phase it away. And someone was saying another mistake that we made as a nation is to grant amnesty to in quote now Boko Haram insurgents and putting them in our security architecture. We'll come back to dwell more on this particular discussion. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this break. Much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the resurgence of Boko Haram. People are very skeptical, very scared to even take a trip via road because of the fear of being kidnapped, killed, raped, you just name it. It's becoming disturbing. Well, I have Barrister A.B. Thomas with me in the studio, and of course I have Odigie Wadai, and don't forget to mention Paul Ogido and a friend Alabero. They are sharing their views and opinions on this particular issue. Barrister A.B. Thomas, when President Olusegun Obasanjo was at the helm of affairs, he was spoken to about this particular situation. The people comment, these are politically motivated. They will fizzle away. Some are saying that is one of the reasons why we are where we are today. Another point raised by some pundits, they said for the government of that particular dispensation should be either a late President Buhari to grant amnesty to, in quote right now, repentant Boko Haram members and allowing the Nigerian states to infuse them in our military. That's the backlash we are getting today. Now, what do you have to say about these seeming mistakes?
Well, you say the issue of Obasanjo making a mistake. I wouldn't call it a mistake that as such. We are operating a federation. Though many people say we are not practicing it the way it should be. We are practicing democracy and a federal system of government. The Constitution of Nigeria says Nigeria shall be a secular state, which means there shall be no state religion. Now, Obasanjo just came into the Fourth Republic, just taking over from another prolonged military rule, where the successive 3 military heads of states came from one region. If you don't mind, I would just say Buhari was a president, was head of state. After Buhari was Babangida. After Babangida was Abacha. These 3 heads of states came from one section of the country. And now you have a man just brought out from the prison to come and become the president of Nigeria in the Fourth Republic.
That was in 1999?
1999. He needed to tread carefully. in order not to create another military coup. So when he began to retire senior military officers who had tested civilian positions, they cried out from that particular northern side, oh, you have retired 80% of northern officers. Because at the time Abacha came, most of the military governors, most of the commissioners, most of the ministers were from one section of the country.
The northern part of the country?
Yes, from another part of the country. And then here's a man brought from Just prison to contest a hurriedly organized election. And the man came and said he's a president. The man was careful. First and foremost, let me retire all officers, whether you are from the south or north, who have tested civilian power. He did that. And that was the precursor that the doctors started feeling, oh, we are being marginalized. Our people in the Abbey are being removed. Then they started Sharia. When they started this Sharia, it wasn't a militant Sharia. Sharia has always been in the statute books of some of the northern states. In their penal code, Sharia was already there. That we have criminal code here in the south. So for him, he labeled it a political Sharia, and it will fizzle out. That wasn't much of a problem because it wasn't militancy. It wasn't terrorism. And when they started cutting Malam Jigaba's hand for stealing a cow, he said, please make sure you don't cut any other person's hand who is not a Muslim. Obasanjo said so. And throughout the period Obasanjo was there, no Christian's hand was amputated. But the real problem where this militancy started gaining momentum was when Jonathan took over from Obasanjo. Jonathan did not hide it that he was a Christian. He didn't. Jonathan went all out, having chapel in the State House, having what other Northerners, head of states have done before. So he didn't hide it. He's a Southerner and he's a Christian. So when this Sharia or Boko Haram became highly militarized, he had to seek foreign aid, realizing that within his government, there were infiltrators. Within the army itself, there were also sympathizers to the Boko Haram cause. Therefore, he had to invite secretly some foreign intervention. And when those ones came, within his own government, people were opposing. You want to kill our people? You want to kill our people? Buhari himself was named by the Boko Haram as their chief negotiator. It was in the news that our chief negotiator shall be Buhari. It was in the news. And when Buhari was campaigning for presidency, Jonathan was still there as a president. Many Nigerians raised this alarm that Buhari is a man who believes in a particular religion, who propagates a particular religion. And I'm here, I belong to that same religion. But in the south here, they don't see us as good Muslims. They don't see us, whereas we here in the south, we are Muslims, but we mix our Islam with the real text from the Holy Quran and the Hadith. So they were the extremists who will misinterpret what is in the Quran and the Hadith. And they believe we're not good in the south. And Buhari belonged to that group who saw it that, oh, we need to Islamize Nigeria. That was where the problem started. And he went further to say, oh, if you capture any Boko Haram officer, you must not kill. They will repent. How do you say they will repent? Terrorists who have been in the forest, they will repent. And if we say you are granting amnesty to this so-called this terrorist from Boko Haram, you needed not to have incorporated or assimilated them into the army. That you can call that one a grievous and calculated mistake. That Obasanjo did not commit. You put these people in the army. You say they are repentant. You look at what happened in the Niger Delta when those ones were carrying guns and were fighting for resource control and others. We granted them amnesty. Did we put them into the army? No, we did not. We knew the consequences of having them put in the army. Here, Boko Haram was still on. They've not all surrendered. They were still fighting. You capture some. It got to the point that if a particular tribe come to the south and kidnap, you dare not lynch them. If you take them to the police station, DPO will wash off his hands. In the south here. Because their own man, Buhari, was the president. We had that problem. So you see that it was a very terrible mistake. Maybe I shouldn't call it a mistake. It was a calculated mischief to incorporate these Boko Haram people into the Nigerian army. Because my was saying, look, how can everything prepared in the army leak out? Yes, it is correct. These people were the ones who were giving information. You said they are repentant, but they were giving information to the people. So our soldiers were being ambushed and being slaughtered.
All right, I'll come back to you, Barrister Ebifos. Let's get to hear from Honorable Odighe Uwadai. Now, you talked about mistakes being made by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, while Barrister Ebifos said, well, he was just stepping in. They need to take everything calm and cool. After all, there was no much of Boko Haram. It's only the Sharia law. Right now, there is a Boko Haram during the time of late President Muhammadu Buhari and his activities in that particular region, that particular dispensation. Some are saying that the reason why we are where we are today, bringing them into the military, bringing them into the police, bringing them into the Navy, some are saying it was a mistake. Others are saying it was a deliberate, calculated attempt to make sure that the propagation, so to speak, of this dreaded Boko Haram extremists come into fruition. What's your take on that?
Well, we agree with and it was a calculated effort on the part of the federal government and the military. So for them to have incorporated the quote unquote the repentant terrorists. So that is why I said ab initio, I said this issue we have on hand is greater than the Nigerian army. It is not just only changing the service chiefs that will solve the problem. You've not talked about the GO6. You've not talked about the brigade commander. You've not talked about, there are so many. So it is a cause or an idea that they believe in. And most of them, they are part and parcel of this idea. Remember, the late Buhari, Rufai, I keep on saying it without any fear of favor. Rufai, Muda Sharif, the Yerima, the vice president of Nigeria, they were among those that recruited these terrorists to Nigeria.
You cannot say the vice president recruited this to Nigeria. Even if I allow you guys to have a leeway today, you just can't mention names and lay allegations against a seven vice president. Please, let's be guarded. Continue.
He said he found out the person that brought Boko Haram to Nigeria is the vice president of Nigeria, Muda Sharif, the former national chairman of PDP. Quote me anytime, anywhere. I'm not missing word.
He has denied it. He said he doesn't have a hand in it. So it's like your word against his. We're all going to believe right now.
Did you expect him to come and tell you? Man, I belong to be realistic. I'm saying in essence, as long as these people are still alive, and they are still very close to the corridor of power, we will never have solution. What they need right now is first of all to bring this. Tinubu is surrounded with terrorists. He cannot do anything. He cannot run the country by himself. Should this, killings continue? They have killed or kidnapped over 300, citizens of Nigeria. Should this thing continue? Should it continue? The tendency that we will have a military coup will be there. What Nigeria needs to do right now is to find out what these terrorists want to know what they want. They want to capture Nigeria. And they are very close in capturing Niger Republic that has a very porous border with Nigeria. And they're going to form into partnership and read the intelligence report, unless you guys are not getting it. They're going to form partnership with the terrorists in Nigeria and run Nigeria over. We keep on saying the time has come. The security report that we'll be getting, that go and defend yourself. You do not wait for the military. Look at what happened in St. Mary's. By 3 o'clock, they moved the military out of the security post. 45 minutes later, the terrorists came and abducted the girls, over 100 girls. 20 minutes later, after the operation, the military brought them back. What else did you want? Excuse me, what else do you want? So, the military, they accomplish it of what is going on. It is not just all, it is more, as I said, this issue is bigger than the military. It is not just only those repentant terrorists that were absorbed into the army. More of the army top officials, government officials, they are all involved. The governors, these are not, the terrorists are not guerrilla fighters. We know them. The governors are attending their marriages. They send marriage invitation to them. The governors, they come to attend. They have also instituted levies in some of the local governments. The custom of officials take contraband, rice and beans. They have said it openly. We need to go and feed our people. We need to give them rights, so they know where they. If a country is this, and nobody is talking. So the custom is aware. LGA, they are all aware. The police is involved. I think at the moment, Bola Tinubu is scared. If even they kidnap Shehu, his son, he's still going to negotiate. He's still going to negotiate. My brother, what we have on hand is bigger than Nigeria. The Nigerian military have failed us. The police, they have failed. There is nothing they can do. Absolutely nothing they can do.
I'll come back to you.
What they are doing right now.
I'll come back to you. You just calm down. I will come back to you, okay? Now, he made a point. There are some names he mentioned about the vice president, and of course, I cautioned him about that because the vice president said he has nothing to do with Boko Haram. He has nothing to do with insurgency, nothing to do with terrorists. So I'm going to leave it at that because VP Shettima said he doesn't know any of this, doesn't have connection with them. So let's leave it at that. Let me go to Honorable Paul Ogido. Honorable Paul Ogido, Honorable Owadai still maintains that this is bigger than the military. This is bigger than the police, according to him, that they have failed us and there is nothing anybody can do about this. But here comes the question. Does the military have that database to get to know those particular individuals that will attempt to be repentant Boko Haram and they are the military? Do you feel they can do something about these people? After all, the military, I trust them so well, they have this record. Do you feel that going after these persons will clean the military? Take it up from there.
I want to align with the last speaker who said it's beyond the military. From his perspective, yes, I will also say yes from his own perspective. But generally speaking, whatever we have on our hands right now is not beyond the Nigerian military that I know. The truth is, like you said, to start with, those who were inculcated into the military, rebranding them as repentant terrorists, they have a record. The military have a record of them. That is the first point of call. If the military is going to function without sabotage, they have to start from there. Showing them the way out, separating the sheep from the goats, so that we should be able to name them correctly and accurately. That is very key. But on the other hand, is it not those in power that made it possible, that rebranded these terrorists as repentant and thereby put them into the military? See, for us to be able to tackle this insecurity on our hands, Mr. President have to sit up and take it up as a challenge. I just wish Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, would say, even if this is the only thing I can do for Nigerians, let it be on record that I came, I met this, and I conquered it. It is simple, with bold mind. Let me tell you, the truth of the whole matter is that there is no tribe, no ethnic group, no individual have that monopoly of violence. No, there is none. A situation where the government will come and disarm those who have taken it upon themselves to defend themselves and their communities. We have had complaints in the news in Benue State where the youth came out to protest and said that these guys, they will come here, these terrorists will come, kill people, burn houses, and go away unchallenged. Therefore, we need to protect and defend ourselves. And what happens? Less than 24 hours later, the military move in and get these youths arrested, disarm them of their den guns, single local barrels that they used to hunt, disarm them completely. And anytime they do that, these people come back barely 48 hours later to attack them. It is in this country these things are happening. It's in the public domain. Like when we are talking, you say, no, it's not like that, you don't. But these are facts. These are things we can prove. I will not come here to say things that I don't have proof of. I read about this. Even though the conventional news agencies will never carry most of these things, but they are there. The killings going across, it's not even on ITV. You know, you cannot broadcast things like that. You don't have the right to, I think the right have been withdrawn from you. But thank God for social media. They bring it live to you exactly the way it's happening. So for us to be able to tackle this, there has to be a willpower. The willingness to do it has to be there. And it has to start from someone. If we have a Sultana as the president, and this is still happening the way it's happening, then what do you think will happen when those from the other zone have to take over that power? What will happen? Because we have a lot of sympathizers among them. There are those who are saying, you don't touch them. You have to negotiate with them. The people like Sheikh Gumi, he has sympathy for them. He's always saying, you cannot do that. We have read in the news where a high-profile figure have said, if you attack Boko Haram, you are attacking Allah. Is it not in this country that this is happening? Until we now come back together and say, no, for those who don't have a hand in it, come back together and say, we at the helm of affairs, we must do something about this now before they exterminate everyone. Because nobody is going to be left untouched. We will all get our fair share. If we refuse to speak up, if we refuse to take it up right now, I tell you, within the shortest possible time, Nigeria will be run over. Take it from me. That is why most of us are appealing and praying every day that President Trump of the United States should come to intervene, because right now our leaders have failed us. Those at the helm of affairs have failed us. We need foreign power. We need those from outside to come and help us. Because for you to travel from Lagos to Benin or travel from Benin to Port Harcourt, you first of all go to the mountains to go and fast and pray for you to make such journey. It wasn't like that. I remember I used to leave Benin sometimes around 7:30 and drive straight down to Lagos without any problem. But who does that now? So I want to say that until we have the political will to tackle this, when there is a will, there's always a way. Our leaders have decided to turn deaf ear and blind eyes to this evil that is ravaging the land, because they believe that they can always take their private jet and fly out of this country once the fire starts burning. And this will not be good for us. It's a pity that people are still politicking. People are still clapping hands for those who are supposed to do this for us, and they are refusing to do it because of their greediness and their selfishness. What is power if you cannot use it to defend yourself and defend everybody around you? The money they are gathering from this process of, the budget for this and budget for that, the vehicle that will take one military to that place will be 10 billion. Listen, where are they taking? Are they taking it to heaven or wherever they are going to? One day we will all die and leave everything here. It is time for us to fix this country. The greatest problem is not the economic problem.
I'll come back to Honorable Paul. I'll come back to you. Definitely, I will come back to that. Let's get to hear from Honorable Fred. Now, this aspect of our people. Don't kill our people. Don't attack our people. People. Even from high government officials, even from the security personnel, you just name it. This concept of them saying Boko Haram belongs to them. Come on, is it really helping us as a nation?
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, I heard what you said. You were talking about if their action is actually helping our country. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, good.
We can hear you. Continue.
I want to say that, I want to say that whether they kill their people, whether they kill our people, this is Nigeria. We are all Nigeria.
There is no blood that should be spilled in this country. And having seen the failure of the security agencies, and particular about them, and the what I call the conspiracy that has been in them, what I'm proposing for this country is that we should behave like the Israel, where every home is a soldier available there. Everybody should become a vigilante in this country. And we should all get arms and ammunition registered as vigilante, so that whenever you are traveling, as a driver, you are a vigilante, you hold your gun. Whenever the passengers are traveling, they are vigilante, they hold their guns. And I think by so doing, when you know that when you are coming to attack me, you have already known that I'm a vigilante by default, you should be able to understand that you have a rethink and find another way. Another thing is that, like what my colleague said, there should be a political will. Look, we are not goats. Human being there's no price you can place on a human being. We should be protected. We should be genuinely protected. Not this mechanism that the military will come up to say here and there and here and there and here and there. No, it will not help us. It will not help us. How can you withdraw a military from a checkpoint and operation has come to be successful? The girls have been kidnapped. Now you come back and start to do what? So there is no genuineness. I want the president of this country, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to call the service chiefs and all security agencies and give them ultimatum. to get rid of these criminal elements from our country. And not forgetting the first advice I gave, that everybody, we should recruit ourselves. At least the vigilante is a legal entity. We should all get recruited. I will be recruited into the vigilante. You should be recruited. So that when you are driving to ITV in the morning, you should hold your gun, legally registered. So that when anybody attacks you, you should be the first person to shoot the person. Everybody, the teachers should get recruited into vigilante. By default, we should be all be trained. This is the time for every Nigeria to defend themselves. And the only way we can defend ourselves to carry weapons illegally is to be recruited into the security forces by default. Be a vigilante. I will go to be a vigilante member so that I can have my gun registered to defend myself, so that I will not be sentenced to death by the man who defended himself in the farm. If he was a vigilante, I don't think he would have been sentenced. Look, we should stop trivializing security matter in this country. Let me tell you, if we don't get the security matter right in this country, development will be hindered. We will remain poor and become poor and become poor until we get the security. Who will invest in our, who will come and invest in our nation when there is insecurity, people disguising as cattle headers, meanwhile they are bandits and they are terrorists. But when we have a thinking of our mind, we design our mindset, both men and women, youth, everybody should become soldiers in form of vigilante, so that we can lawfully defend ourselves in this country, so that we can go to the farm. And when you are coming to attack us in the farm, you should know that we are also armed. You should have everything. By so doing, I think that even if it's not totally cleared, even if it's not totally halted, I think there should be a little bit of 90% repellent of all these security atrocities and insecurity that they have caused in this country. Imagine when I wanted to go and bury my brother, Victor Ogedegbe, died. There was a red alert on me that I should not go to my village. Until the army have to put me inside an armor tank to be able to go to my village. How many times would army give me armor tank to go to my village? How many times? How will I be comfortable in an armor tank always? Of which resources? It doesn't make sense to me. We should all be armed. We should all be armed in form of vigilante, so that we can carry our weapons legally and ensure that we wipe out these banditries, these terrorists that have come to occupy our space. Look at the kidnap they are doing. The new Ebola, they just kidnapped them the other time, and that was giving a bad reputation for the new investment of His Excellency Governor Monday Kwewulu. I met a lady, I said, use Ebola. He just copper or whatever, NYC. He said, no, I will not use Ebola. I said, why? He said, they are kidnapping. I said, no, kidnapping can happen to anybody. He said, but Ebola, I will not. Can you just imagine a news that these terrorists are giving to us? We must fight. The governor should be a vigilante. Everybody should have guns. And we should fight this thing head on. When the teachers line up, everybody should have their guns like the Israeli women. Everywhere they go, everybody should have their own, even if not AK-47, we should have our propulsion, at least 12 rounds automatic, registered. Everybody should hang it. We are not safe. And the only way we can, have a little bit of rest is to ensure that we are fully armed to the teeth. This is my solution to all this thing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Fred. I could see lots and lots of emotion, but no one will blame me, because what has been happening is said everyone uses the Israeli style. Once you're up to 18 and above, you enroll in the military. It's a standard procedure in Israel. Standard procedure in some parts of the world, maybe in Russia. I don't know about Germany, but in China, it's like they have that particular law. Now, once you're 18 and above, you must enlist. In America also, way back, I don't know about now, once you're 18 and above, you are, urged to enlist in the military, at least to swear the ranks. And I talked about having your own gun. I remember what one of my discussants talked about. Yes, I remember very well. Was it a few years ago during the time of former president, late President Buhari, where guns were mopped? Yes, they disarmed some persons or some communities. It should be in Benue. And the minute after that, there was an attack. What happened? Anyway, we want to go on a break. When we return, the final part of the discussion will definitely come up. We get to see how we can propose a solution, because most of the points given on this particular platform is our own opinion. It has nothing to do with ITV. But the question now is, are they saying the truth? If the truth is being spoken right now on this platform, what should our government do about it? Because Nigeria now says stand. All is not well. According to the report we are seeing from video footages, from audio, every circle, all seems not to be well. Not seem, all is not well. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go away. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the security situation of Nigeria, the resurgence of Boko Haram becoming very, very disturbing. Some are saying that this is assuming a worrisome dimension. Some are saying that it's politically motivated. Others are saying no, it's not about politics, it's about security. I have Barrister A.B. Thomas. I also have Honorable Odige Wadai. I have Honorable Paul Ogido. Don't forget to mention Fred Aleburu, all the way from Owa, sharing their thoughts and opinion in this particular discussion. Honorable Fred talked about, ourselves, being part of vigilante, registered vigilante, register our gun. If you're going anywhere, registered gun, you're part of vigilante, Israeli style, being the military, protect yourself. Do you think that would be the solution, Barrister A.B. Thomas?
I'm very sorry, that will not be the solution. It will not, because there are so many diversities in Nigeria. And these diversities ought to be our source of strength. Rather, it has become a source of problem. Within Edo State alone, you know how many tribes you have. You have many languages. You have so many religions here. Not talk of Nigeria. If you say all Nigerians should arm themselves, you will be shocked. They'll start killing themselves. Every little thing they shoot themselves. Rather than waiting for the terrorists to shoot the terrorists, they start killing themselves. Then what will be the purpose of having a police force? What will be the purpose of having an army? So I do not subscribe to having everybody armed because we're not oriented. Our cultural orientation does not support carrying guns. In the period of the Ogisos in Benin, then the Obas in Benin, there has always been a central authority. There has been enforcers who are not like police of today. But if you say everybody should hold gun in the streets, what you will find is different. Some people get drunk, drive. Any person that hits their car, they come out, shoot the person, and go. Even in the United States, where people are allowed to carry guns, you are still screened. You'll be screened, and they monitor you with your guns. Nigeria's problem is not gun issue. Where we have gun issue, the only way we have gun issue is when you look at videos coming into the social media, and you see the kind of guns these Boko Haram people are parading. Where will you get that for the citizens to carry? Then gun? What I'm trying to say is this. Rather than we having every citizen armed, the government should sit down, ask themselves. First question, if these terrorists are not Nigerians, how did they get into the country? Because I'm aware that when Jonathan was about to be chased from governors, the Kaduna governor later confessed that, look, we brought in these people from Upper Volta, that is Burkina Faso, Mali, and others. The Americans came to Jonathan and said, look, these people are in your forest everywhere, and they are ready to attack if you don't concede that you have lost. Jonathan himself told Nigerians, my election victory is not worth the blood of any Nigerian, so I concede. If he had not conceded, these Fulanis who were brought from Burkina Faso, Mali, and everywhere, they were already in our forest. We have them all over Edo State, and we still had them that time. Kidnapping and all that. They came into kidnapping because the purpose for which they were brought failed. When Jonathan said, okay, I concede. So the purpose for which they were brought failed. When they were in the forest and you asked police to go and look for them, the kind of weapons they were carrying is not the type of AK-47 that the police and the army they are carrying. And you can't give every Nigerian AK-47. You cannot. They don't know how much AK-47 costs. And you don't have to just give guns to Nigerians and say, be a vigilante. If you have to give every Nigerian AK-47, they need training. Even the Den gun, they need training. Not for you to just shoot into the air or shoot sporadically. You must be able to aim the terrorist who is coming to you. So I won't subscribe to that aspect of giving arms to every Nigerian, because our orientation is far, far different from that. That is why when you see a military man holding his gun, you begin to provoke him. You need extra provocation for the military man to react and shoot anybody. So we don't have that kind of orientation. But I am still saying, on this issue of guns, if you see the kind of guns we see on social media that these terrorists are carrying, particularly when they are going for the so-called peace meeting in Zamfara, or they are going for marriages, which are televised by people, private television.
Now that is most disturbing.
Good.
They go for weddings, they go for gatherings, they go
everywhere. That is where I am going to. They go in about 300 motorbikes carrying double mouth automatic weapons. And we are asking ourselves, if these people are doing all this, and we are saying we have an air force that does not want collateral damage, and people are being kidnapped, Do you know what it is to be a father of a child or a mother of a child? You kidnap 300 students. Or you kidnap those in the Kebi. Anybody you kidnap is not, it's not easy for the family. So when you look at this kind of thing, we have at the Air Force, look, if we can just stop or we can reduce our stealing of government fund, if we can reduce it to 10% and use the remaining 90% to buy enough helicopters for the Air Force. And when I say helicopters, gunships, powerful helicopters to be in the air. What is Sambisa Forest? Sambisa Forest is on the ground. And we have good choppers in the air. And we have good place, not just this kind of Tucana that America is using to train their people. They give us, we say we have
Tucano.
Tucano. We say we have weapons. People are no longer buying F-16. They are not buying F-35. If we reduce our stealing government from what they are doing to 10%, the remaining 90%, give it to army. Equip them. We don't need Nigerians carrying guns because Sambisa Forest is on the ground. And when Jonathan was here, the few mercenaries were brought, they sat with laptops and they were able to see where this were from with laptops. If they could get those kind of equipment for Nigeria, it's not going to be like, oh, we must get it from America, because America will attach some conditions to it. We are very good at taking loans from China. Loans that we're not even using properly. We are very good at taking loans from other countries. China can supply us those weapons. Russia can supply us those weapons. I don't want anybody to come and tell us to begin to arm ourselves and turn ourselves into another Sudan or Somalia. So instead, let us equip our armed forces so that they will get better equipment than what the terrorists are carrying. Then they will have better intelligence gathering. Because intelligence gathering is the latest in warfare. Then we should get very good drones, which will not expose the life of a brigadier or any other human being. Get good drones to go into Sambisa Forest and raise the whole place down. But we're not doing that. We cannot defeat them by arming ourselves, everybody. Secondly, this issue of infiltration of government, 90% of what we have been discussing is true. The government itself knows it. They know it. There was a man who was a minister under Buhari, one fair complexion man, I can't remember his name, who was said to be an extremist. He left government. Was the man ever prosecuted? No. We have them in government. We have them in the armed forces themselves. Apart from these repentant terrorists, we also have some of our armed forces members who are there, who have sympathy towards this cause. They are also extremists in their own way. Not just Muslim. No, they're not just Muslim. They are extremists. So we have to weed out all these people. If we can weed them out, the Nigerian army is a well-trained army. Nigerian army needs more equipment. Nigerian army can go anywhere. We went to Sierra Leone. We brought order, peace and order to Sierra Leone.
Even Liberia.
We went to Liberia. We were able to bring peace and order to Liberia. Why? Because we sent our people to areas where they don't have relations, they don't have religious affiliation, they don't have any tribal or ethnic affiliation. Nigeria may distinguish themselves well. We go to other countries for peacekeeping. Nigeria Army performs very well. Why is it now that we cannot take care of our own internal arrangement, that we now have to give ourselves guns at home? In my street, you put guns there. Then anybody who is angry, who is not getting enough water, go to that person's house, shoot him for not giving him water. No. Let us not go into that jungle lifestyle. Instead, we have professionals. All we need to do, let us be serious. If we are serious, if we have canceling going to South Africa for G20 or anything, or going somewhere, that is not the issue. Somebody mentioned political will. Do we have the political will? I can bet you, if we are not talking of any second term, If we have a president who is not taking a second term, for a second tenure, I think the president will be more serious about this.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Sir Thomas. Let's get to hear from Honorable Odige Owadai, the way forward. Now, what do you think should be done? From what Barrister A.B. Thomas said, he said, giving everybody a gun, joining vigilante, and the rest of them, arming citizens will not really all go well for us. How do we get out of this? Remember that these terrorists right now is on part of the north. They are attending weddings, attending ceremonies. Even there is a cleric, Islamic cleric called Gumi. He said he knows where they are. He's negotiating with them. He's asking sympathy for them. He was even prevented for coming into Saudi Arabia because of all these allegations leveled against him. But he's here in our country, Nigeria, saying we should take it easy with the terrorists. People don't really understand. Take it up from there, the way forward.
This is not the first time Gumi has, or his name has come to the limelight. And he's been acting with impunity. And I will also add a voice to what they said about Isa Patani, the former Minister of Communication and Technology. He once said, they are our people, the terrorists, they are our people. It wasn't just only Isa Patani. Even the then President Buhari also said it, that an attack on them is an attack on the Northerners. So it is nothing new. Absolutely nothing new. And all this, some people will say, oh, they are terrorists, sympathizers. They are terrorists. Terrorists. Buhari was nominated as their representative to negotiate. And Buhari was the last patron of Miyati Allah, a terrorist organization in Nigeria. The Sada of Sokoto is the last patron of Miyati Allah. What are we talking about? So it is not just, when you look at the suffix, you are looking at the young government officials. They are more than what the ordinary eyes can see. So my brother, if we want to solve this problem, first of all, the president needs to declare war on the terrorists, conventional war. The good aspect of it is that the terrorists are known to all the governors in the north. They live in the communities. They also attend parties. So this is not going to be a guerrilla warfare. The custom officials, they know where they are because they take food to them. So it's going to be an easy war if the military wants to fight. People keep us, oh, Nigerian army, they have done well, they have done this, they went to Liberia, they went to Syria. Those are villages, brother. And they acted within the cover of the United Nations. Once you take them out of that ecosystem to Nigeria, it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game. So for you to be assessing, oh, they went to Sierra Leone, they went to Liberia to perform. What did they do? Impregnated the girls. Most especially in Liberia. The departure of the Nigerian army. Over 240 women were pregnant for Nigerian soldiers. What are we talking about? You see, we take things and we just blew them out of proportion. What I'm trying to say in essence is this. Buhari, not Buhari, Tinubu needs to declare war if he means business. The army or the military must be purged, irrespective of who you are. And the way things are now, Tinubu is even afraid of his life. There is something there in Abuja or Aso Rock. Because when you turn to your left, what did you have? A terrorist. You turn to your right, who do you have? Terrorists. When you're in your ISCO meeting, you have a lot of terrorists with you. In the security meeting, national security meeting, you have terrorists with you. Everybody is afraid to talk because you don't know who your neighbor is. So because of that, Tinubu can no longer take any decision. His concern now is how he's going to save his life and how to prevent another military coup or attempt. So what he might probably do is this. He's going to use executive order. Don't wait for the due process. You go through the National Assembly. When you have 19 states, including Abuja, these are all mostly terrorist states. They will kill the bill. So he should use executive order, which is allowed to create state police with immediate effect. So that each state can provide security for lives and properties.
Thank you so much. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you, Honorable Odigi Owadai. We'll come back to you. Now let's get to hear from Honorable Paul Ogido Aigi. We see he mentioned state police, and he said Mr. President is afraid of his life because of what he's seeing. How do you think we can get out of this? Because whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, traditional institution, people are being killed, irrespective of their religious affiliation. So these my people, I think. But let's get to hear from Honorable Paul. What do they say about this, the way forward?
Yeah, the way forward is very simple. If only one, the one at the helm of affairs, can be bold enough to sum up the courage to tackle this. It is very simple because right now, if you don't know, for instance, a man is sick and he's not been diagnosed of any ailment, treating such a person will be very difficult. But a situation where you have gone through the process of diagnosis, the problem have been identified, treatment will be easy because except if it becomes that ailment that have no sickness, that have no cure, and God forbid that. The problem we have in Nigeria, talking about the insecurity, is not a problem without solution. The solution is just everywhere around us. It is just the willpower and the courage to tackle it. And I would like to say that the first step to solving this issue is to first of all, like I said before, get the political will, then empower the state governors. Because in all of this, the state governors does not have a role to play. And that is where we are getting it wrong. And like my brother there said, if this bill have to come to the National Assembly for the creation of state police, there are people that will kill it because they want to run this nation over. The Islamization agenda is real and it's true. Anybody denying it is just denying it because they don't want to come up with the truth. This is a fact. It's in the public domain. And these are the people who will not allow such bills to scale through. And now, I will tell you, by means of an executive order, it can come up with a creation of state police, and that will empower the state governors who are right now powerless when it comes to tackling insecurity to be able to, provide adequate security for their people. For instance, if the state government have a power to create a vigilante in the form of state policing now, and say, okay, every community bring 50 men to be trained and well equipped by the state government to carry arms and ammunition that will be supervised by the police or the police authority in that area. You will see that this attack on communities will be reduced to the barest minimum. That is on one hand. Again, there is nothing wrong with inviting foreign superpower, like America having interest in Nigeria, to help us tackle this insecurity in Nigeria. There is nothing wrong with it. Why not? The president, like my brother described, is afraid, is scared, he doesn't know what to do now, he doesn't want to be overthrown again because an attempt have been made before. He doesn't want that to happen again. Okay, what stopped him? We know of presidents in these African nations that have foreign powers having their military, protecting them. What stopped the Nigerian president from doing that? There is no law that stopped him from doing that. And with that, he should be able to take some decisive actions. Because if he is there and all these things keep happening, and it happens to the end of this tenure, I don't think he will ever have the moral standing to say, I want to buy for.
Let's get to hear from Honorable Fred. Honorable Fred, let's get to your point right now on the way forward, because Barrister Thomas said giving everyone a gun might not be the solution. Remember, these people, some of us know where they are. When I mean us, I'm talking about the governors, politicians, even some military personnel know where they are. So what is stopping us?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wisin. Thank you, Nigeria. Thank you, my respected comrades in the house. In a time of necessity, there are no rules. Just like in time of war, there are no rules. In a time of necessity, illegality becomes legal. We might be shying away from the truth that when we have everybody, every home, recruiting themselves into vigilante, legally registered members of vigilante, so that you can legally protect yourself. Because when we are saying protect yourself right now, we are saying it with mechanism. We are saying it with two-sided of mouth. A man protected himself just a moment ago. A man protected himself and is be sentenced by a court of competent jurisdiction. Then you are telling me to protect myself. You are telling me to protect myself illegally. For the time being, for me to protect myself legally, I have to be able to carry the weapon legally to protect myself. If my mother is going to farm, he should hang her gun going to the farm. When he hears anybody want to attack, he defends herself first. That's on one side. And then on the president's side, His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is a man with a large heart. And my advice to the president is that he should declare state of emergency in this country. We are in war. Nobody wants to believe me earlier. We are in war with terrorism. We are in war with banditry. And where there is war, it is difficult for anything to thrive. So the president, I will align myself with the other speaker, the president should declare war on terrorism. And whether we like it or not, whoever is deceiving us that we don't need the United States of America, thank you, President Trump. While the U.S. is having interest in this country, we should not joke with it. We should not get to that extent of begging. Now, they are saying, we want to help you. We should gladly allow them to help us, because like you said, the president himself is not safe because on the right side and on the left side, he doesn't know who he's talking to. Let me give you a little bit of what's going on in my village. I tell you, we are saying that before Victor Ogedegbe died, and before the other man, the head of the United died, that general informant. And we are saying in our local level that we are going to place a cost on the people that did it. I tell you for free, people are drawing back. They are running back. It means that the informants are within the military, they are within the cabinet of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that's why whatever plan you have will not succeed. So to bypass all those levels, let us allow an external help to come and help us in this quagmire that we find ourselves. That is the only way that we can have solution to this banditry. The annihilation of, a certain tribe and a certain religion in this country is a thing that has been planned for a very long time. And for us to stop all these things, we can't help ourselves. The man you have made a commander might be one of the terrorist group who will become a defense for these terrorists. Meanwhile, you are giving him all the arms and ammunition to go and fight this thing. Let me tell you again, in my community, there was a certain time the military were sent to a forest. Do you know what they did? When the man got there, he started praying, he started doing a prayer. With the people he was asked to go and evacuate from the forest who are perpetrating evil there. Are we not helpless? Of course we are helpless. So we need help. The solution is help. The second solution is self-help.
We will come back to you. We'll come back to you, Honorable Fred. We want to take a break. When we return, we'll come back to conclude this discussion still on the way forward. I see Barrister A.B. Thomas with me here in the studio. We'll be talking more about this. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is a news update for this time. The highly anticipated Night of Bliss 2025, organized by Christ Embassy, has taken place in Benin, drawing an overwhelming crowd of worshippers. The event was held at the Garrick Memorial School ground on the Kenwa Road, where thousands gathered for an evening of faith, worship, and divine connection. Pius Nsoro reports.
Worship filled the air as thousands of attendees lifted their voices, their hearts united in reverence for God. The crowd eagerly received the powerful teachings of Pastor Chris Oyakilome, who delivered his message via a virtual broadcast.
You have an important life journey. And when you are preparing for a journey, and you want to have a successful journey, you want to make sure you take all the important things you require with you.
As the atmosphere intensified with the energy of faith, worshippers praised God for his abundant blessings and sought divine intervention. Clergymen from Christ Embassy branches across Benin, alongside ministers from other local denominations, were also in attendance, expressing gratitude for the success of this year's gathering.
To thank the man of God, Pastor Chris, for the opportunity to have this program in Benin City.
We prayed, we worked towards it, we had expectations.
I'm so happy because Pastor has led us this morning to pray for Nigeria, to pray for our state, and also to pray for our local government.
He's a God-sent man of God, and this program in particular, I wish this kind of program repeats again and again. You will see that Nigeria, will change for better.
It's a program that is all-encompassing. It's a program that has touched everybody. For me, I have been overwhelmed. Pastor dealt on a particular scripture that seemed to be like something we are very familiar with, the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ.
The Night of Bliss is a signature annual event hosted by Christ Embassy under the leadership of Pastor Chris Oyakhilome. It is designed as a special gathering where believers come together for a night of healing, inspiration, and worship. From Benin, Pius Nsogo, ITV News.
The Honorable Justice Esohe Francis Ikponwe Foundation, established by the Chief Judge Emeritus of Edo State, Honorable Justice E.F. Ikponwe, on Friday, 21st November, hosted the 4th edition of his annual award ceremony for young prospective female lawyers. The event held at a seminar hall, Faculty of Law, University of Benin, drew past and 7 judges of Edo State, academicians and students from various universities. Jaladojo reports.
Since its establishment in 2021, the Honorable Justice Esohe Francis Ikponwe Foundation has continued to support young aspiring female lawyers from 4 tertiary institutions: the University of Benin, Igbinedion University, Ambrose Ali University, and Benton Idahosa University. In his opening remarks, Chairman of the occasion and Chief Judge Emeritus of Edo State, Honorable Justice Cromwell Idahosa, commended the founder for her unwavering commitment to empowering young women in the legal profession.
She has shown a path of giving to those who are less privileged. It is a wonderful act. Those of you who are the beneficiaries, please make the best use of this kind of gift.
Guest speaker, Chief Magistrate, Special Grade Retired, Honorable Isi Iyoha, also delivered a goodwill message.
When you mentor people and they grow, you have made somebody happy, and that is the essence of life. Honorable Justice Ikponwe has done a wonderful thing in the lives of young students of law.
Chairman of the foundation, Honorable Justice Esohe Ikponwe, reiterated that the initiative aims to support and inspire the next generation of female leaders in law.
It is our hope that within this little contribution of 150,000 naira, each beneficiary will find respite in their pursuits to becoming lawyers. I urge you to stay true to your convictions and values.
Awards were later presented to the beneficiaries, who expressed deep appreciation to the foundation for its impact and continued support.
On behalf of all the recipients, we say a very sincere thank you, ma, and we are grateful and promise to make the very best use of this opportunity.
Something others should also try to emulate.
And she has increased the level. Every year the students are getting more. And this year is even more wonderful.
From Benin, Jola Diojo, ITV News.
In a joyous and culturally rich celebration, the families of Lawrence Osaraboka and Ikpoba Osemigi were officially united through the traditional marriage of their children, Iyesoge Loretta Oka and Esosa Daniel Ikpoba. Osamudeme Osaigi reposed at the ceremony held at the residence of the bride's father, attracted family members, friends, and special guests, including the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Dennis Idahosa.
The customs and traditions of Benin were strictly followed as Iyesoge Loretta Oka was joined to her heartthrob, Esosa Daniel Ikuba. The event was a colorful showcase of Edo culture, with family and friends gathered to witness the union of the young couple. After the completion of the traditional rites, guests, family members and well-wishers converged at a lavish reception to celebrate with the newlyweds. The father of the bride and Edo State APC Secretary Lawrence Oka and the father of the groom Ikuba Osewenge advised the couple to love one another always and guard their home against external interference.
My precious daughter, I don't joke with her. She knows her honors. Well groomed. May God bless the marriage faithfully.
They should cooperate. As the marriage has come through, myself, I'm very happy. I'm very grateful.
The couple expressed heartfelt sentiments about their love and admiration for each other.
God is at the middle of everything. It must work. So we're always going to do His will and always be patient, love each other, be more understanding.
She's a very unique human being, and she's the kind of bride that every man wants to be with. She's amazing.
Guests were treated to performances by dance troupes and live bands. Some invited guests encouraged the couple to put God first in all their endeavors.
Marriage is an institution of God. Anything that concerns your marriage, when it is sweet, when it is bitter, go back to God.
I want to congratulate the new wedded couples and their parents for them to stay together. What attracted them to one another, they should keep to it and not allow a third person to come into their marriage.
They should keep up the faith with patience, tolerance and understanding. They will get there.
It is God's doing, and they will excel. And God will provide them the opportunity to know that God is love and love is God.
From Benin, Osemudame Osagi, ITV News.
The acting chairman of Uwonde Local Government Council, Honorable Austin Imafidon, has commended all the players for their commitment and sportsmanship throughout the Sewina Gold Cup competition organized by the council. The chairman gave the commendation at the grand finale of the Sewina Gold Cup, proudly felicitated about the Uwonde Local Government Council, which came to an exciting close Thursday with a display of exceptional talent, discipline and sportsmanship from all participating teams. Oluwafemi Farayola reports.
In a thrilling final match, Ward 7 emerged champions after defeating their opponents with an emphatic 3-0 victory, earning them the prestigious Gold Cup and a cash prize of 1 million naira. Ward 5 secured second place, taking home the Silver Cup and a cash prize of 500,000 naira, while the third place position was clinched by Ward 6, who received a cash reward of 200,000 naira. While presenting the trophies and cash prizes, the chairman of Uwonde Local Government Council, Honorable Austin Imafidon, commended all the teams for their commitment and sportsmanship throughout the tournament. He encouraged them to remain focused and dedicated.
I'm overwhelmed with what I saw. The both sides did well, but the best has it. They've done well, and we'll do whatever we can to support them. These people will represent us not just in Nigeria, they are going to represent us globally.
Some players attributed their success to teamwork and determination.
I just want to appreciate the local government chairman for this wonderful competition. We are very grateful for this wonderful opportunity that the chairman has given for us to express our innate ability. It's not easy, and we just want to thank God Almighty for making this competition a success.
We will not stop thanking the chairman. He calculated the time and know that this time there is need to bring our youth, off the street, to engage them meaningfully. They can be useful to themselves and also to the society that they belong. You can see the youth, they are smiling.
The tournament, organized by the Supervisor for Youth, Women and Social Development, Honorable Mrs. Anita Iyare, attracted a distinguished gathering including political party leaders, sports administrators, football enthusiasts, among others. Oluwafemi Farayola, ITV News.
The inaugural Benin Unity Cup kicked off on Thursday with a vibrant opening ceremony at the Crescent Football Club Sports Complex, Iriri, Benin City, where color, culture and raw football talent converged to usher in a new era of grassroots sports development in Edo South. Young athletes from the 7 local government areas of the district marched into a packed arena, setting the tone for a tournament designed to promote unity, celebrate youth and spotlight emerging football talents across the Benin nation. The report is presented by Osemudeme Osagie.
Running from 20th November to 20th December 2025, the competition has already been described as one of the most ambitious youth-focused sporting initiatives in the state in recent years. Tournament sponsor Senator Neda Imaswe said the initiative is his way of giving back to the community and urged political leaders in Edo South to emulate Senator Imaswe's commitment to youth empowerment. Edo FA Chairman Mr. Fred Newton Irunse appealed to senators from Edo North and Edo Central to invest in similar initiatives to keep youths engaged and away from social vices.
Tandem with the Benin Unity Summit, who has partnered with Senator Neda Imaswe to bring about the 2025 Benin Unity Football Tournament. And the purpose of this tournament is to empower our grassroots youths.
Players from Ovia meeting people from Oaxaca for the very first time. Football is a unifying factor.
The opening match between Ovia Northeast and Ikpobaoka produced the tournament's first dose of excitement. Both teams displayed impressive flair, tactical discipline, and strong attacking intent. Despite several goal-mouth scrambles, near misses, and dramatic goal line clearances, the match ended goalless after full time. From Benin, Osemudeme Osagi, ITV News.
Members of the Great GSM Village in Benin City, after months of internal conflict, have finally reconciled, agreeing to set aside their differences in the interest of peace and the progress of the association. The reconciliation meeting held at the GSM Village quarters along Airport Road brought together both current and former leaders of the association. Jaladojo reports.
For months, the market had been divided, with factions operating parallel leadership structures, creating tension and disrupting daily activities. However, Friday's gathering turned into a celebration as members, turning out in large numbers, unanimously resolved to end the rift and embrace unity for the collective good of the community. Addressing the enlarged meeting, Chairman of the association and CEO of S-Leader Arena, Comrade Michael Jezele, expressed optimism that the great GSM Village would now witness significant growth.
We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that we embrace this peace, expect total transparency, accountability.
Also speaking, former chairman of the association, Honorable Stephen Osagie, CEO of Osagie Wireless Link Nigerian Limited, Abraham Aminu, and other members expressed appreciation to the Edo State Governor Monday Okpevolo, his deputy Dennis Idahosa, the special advisor on security Paul Akere, and other key stakeholders for mediating and restoring lasting peace in the market.
Now that we are together, we know more will come to the market. And I want to use this medium to create the digest of Edo State government that these are the powerhouse of the state, people that run and drive economy. I want them to look into these markets.
Everything will go well by the grace of God. So we are at peace, as you can see. Everybody is happy. We thank God Almighty for the success of the peace meeting.
Unity has been restored to the market through the special grace of God and the influence of the state governor, Senator Monday Okpevolo.
The special advisor on security to the governor, Paul Akere, reaffirmed that the commitments made at the onset of the crisis have now been fulfilled.
They have come together to bring out one chairman to rule the market. That was the interest of the government, interest of my office.
From Benin, Jola Adeojo, ITV News.
Edo State Police Command has declared one John Waifo missing. In a statement signed by the police public relations officer, Edo State Police Command CSP Moses Joel Yamu Oseoje of 45 Ivian off Ekelma Road, Ubiyuko quarters, Benin City, left home on the 18th of November 2025 to an unknown destination. All efforts made to trace him proved abortive. The statement adds that Egbiriomio Osoje is 28 years old, dark in complexion, about 6 feet tall, without tribal marks, speaks English language fluently. The statement adds that anyone with useful information about the whereabouts of Osoje should kindly contact the nearest police station. And that's it on the news update for this time. Thanks a lot for watching. The concluding part of TMI comes your way shortly. Don't go away. Thank you so much for staying tuned. About to commence our descent to this edition of This Morning on Night TV. We're supposed to dive into two topics today due to the, the nature of our discussion. We choose to zoom in just on one, the resurgence of Boko Haram and its attendant consequences. Well, I see our Barrister A.B. Thomas and others joining us virtually. So, Barrister, talking about solution to this particular situation. How do we go about it? Because we're pressed for time as a nation.
Well, I have short-term and long-term solutions to this problem of insecurity in Nigeria. The first is that the DSS definitely knows those government officials who are sympathetic towards these terrorists. The DSS, as a matter, if I were to be the president should ask the DSS within 10 days, submit the names of those who are in government who are having links to these terrorist organizations, so that they can immediately be rounded up and be removed from government to avoid leakage of government information to these terrorists. Secondly, the president should immediately invite the Senate president, the House of Reps speaker, invite the service chiefs, and immediately get a list of all those so-called repentant militants or terrorists and remove all of them. Take them down to one IDP camp so they can be properly guided.
The ones in the force?
The ones in the force. The so-called repentant terrorists. Removed all of them from the force. Those were incorporated or admitted or recruited. Remove all of them immediately. This can be done within 10 days. Put them all in a camp, guided. They give full powers to all commanders to go for complete crushing of all these terrorists, being adequately equipped and adequately motivated. This can be done in a short period. Secondly, the president should consider it urgently to invite foreign mercenaries. You can collaborate with America. Let them bring in American equipment if they can't send in the American troops. In Ukraine, they are fighting Russia. Ukraine is depending more on foreign forces than their own Ukrainian soldiers. We can do a similar thing. We have enough money for that. Thirdly, this is a long-term project. The National Assembly should, because we have been talking of political will. Yes. Political will. We all agree on political will. The National Assembly should immediately commence a program of amending the Constitution, so there will be no more second term for any governor or any president. They amend it immediately, so that if you have only 6 years, you know from the beginning of 6 years you have no second tenure. You can do whatever you want to do within the ambit of the law and do it once and for all. Because that will give you the political will, knowing very well
you have just one shot.
You have only one shot, and you won't be thinking of contesting election and trying to placate any region. Then finally, on this issue of a solution, the government should, as a matter of urgency, ask every commander from every particular state to move to their state. Take the military men to their state for just only 1 year. Ask everybody to go to their state.
Maintain law and order in your state.
If you are from Borno State and you are in the military, go to Borno State. Put a Borno commander.
Thank you.
If you are from Zamfara, the same thing. If you are from Sokoto, same thing. Just for only 1 year. You will see what will happen.
Thank you so much, Barrister A.B. Thomas. I know, Honorable Odigio Wada, you have so much to say. Even Honorable Paul Aigi, we see you, Guido, you have so much to say. Honorable Fred, I know you have too much to say, but our time as it stands right now is up. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for standing by, sharing your views and opinions. Remember, their views are theirs. It has nothing to do with ITV, but the question now is, were they saying the truth? If the answer is a big yes, government, please swing into action. Enough is enough. Nigeria must be safe. again. We'll do it again some other time. Bye for now.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy. Thank you for joining me on the program Woman to Woman. I'm Adesiwa Osawagi, and today on Woman to Woman we want to look at a very sweet topic, delicious if I may use that word, but it's a fantastic topic you don't want to miss. And we have titled today's edition of Woman to Woman, Understanding Boundaries, the power or the ability to refuse. Refuse what exactly? You need to stay by so that you will know what we are going to dish out for you, and the power to say no to quite a number of things. Christmas is around the corner, don't forget. And a lot of young girls, I'm not mixing words, will debut sex. Yes, they will debut sex. And how will that happen? Most of it is going to be a first one, not by choice. How do they say no so that this does not happen to them? For some careless parents, your children are going to come home with hair that you didn't buy for them, and you will not care to know how they got it. Some are going to come with clothes, baggage jeans, boyfriend jeans, all of that gin thing that you clearly did not buy. And these kids are not working, and most of them are going to be underage, or maybe say, let's put the benchmark at 15 to 18 thereabout. And these things were not bought for them by you, your husband, relatives, or even family friends. So how did they get it? They will debut sex. And if you're not careful, they will, right under your nose. And how do you curb this? How do you nip it in the bud? How do you guide these young girls against debuting sex that they do not want to get into, but are either pressurized or forced to? How? That's why I have Mabel Adege in the studio this afternoon, and she is, should I call her the coordinator of Teen Guidance Initiative, Teens Guidance Initiatives. She is the originator or the creator or the CEO, anyone you want to put it, but now she put them down. And this is to enlighten girls on the dangers of things that may come their way if they are not careful. So Mabel, it's a pleasure to have you join us, and thank you for what you do for young girls.
Thank you.
You know, I saw you on Facebook and I was like, wow. The way you have beautiful women like this who are carrying our young girls like fire in their hearts. You're one of those persons, and I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, to our topic for today, Mabel. Girls are growing.
Yes,
girls are budding, small. Girls are changing, and some very dirty men are looking at them in a way that they are not supposed to look at them. Yes, now let's look at young girls and sex.
You know, when you were talking, I was just laughing. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Mabel, for coming.
As when you were talking, a lot of things, you know, started going through my mind. When I was growing up, I keep on saying this on a daily basis. my mom was not educated. She not even get primary 6 results.
But she gets certificate to born fine girl like you. Let's go on.
But what I went through, if it is now, I would have sued my mom. Because the way I was brought up, it was very hard. Let me just share part of it.
Please
to
do.
help us. My mom, she has a table close to her room, like this very table close to her room, that once you go out and come back, she has a fixed date that she will lie her girls. We'll be on a queue like this. She will be checking one after the other to see if you are still a virgin.
Wow.
She will use this native egg. You will open your leg. In fact, you will lie down there and put it inside there and see if you are still a virgin. If you are not, you are gone. No. And God so much helped all of us to meet up with our expectations. Let me use that word. We all got married as a virgin. I'm saying this publicly.
Okay.
You get. If you go out, you know that where you are coming from, your home, your mother, she's not the type that tolerates nonsense. You will cooperate yourself. You will sit up. Even when you have the mind to do it. But if you remember that, there is always a day that they will check if you still have this thing. No, you will not misbehave. And another thing you said that made me to remember something again. When we were growing up, you dare not wear clothes that she did not buy for you. There was a day that we were going somewhere. My friends told me, "Na trouser I want wear." I don't get trouser because my mom will never buy for you. And I said, okay, my friend now brought one trouser. And I took the trouser to my sister. I hope
your mother is listening or watching this program. You're in trouble.
And I took the trouser to my mom's sister's, that's my auntie's place. I kept the trouser there. I tied wrapper and I went out. When I got there, not to, even as you are wearing, as you are coming and you are watching, if my mom will see you, that was the...
So or you broke the rule.
Or maybe you will go outside. You will not come back late. Or some guys will not come and check you at home. You are gone. She will ask you what happened to your gender. Why this guy? Now let you just date this community when he come for. Okay, this school where you say she's your classmate, she's this. What about others classmates? Oh, is you, eh?
Why didn't you go to those
You
people?
are gone. I just feel at this stage, mothers, they have a big role to play.
Okay, you know, mothers of those days and mothers of these days are not really operating on the same pedestal.
Yes.
Mothers of those days had time and things were not this difficult. Today, a woman wants to get married, the first thing the man asks is, what are you going to bring to the table? You get it. So a woman is working, a man is working. In our society today, you see that 50% of homes, you have women as the breadwinners. You know? Circumstances may be so.
Right.
All right, we have about 50% of women who are breadwinners. All right, and they are working morning, night to make ends meet.
Yes,
most of these women don't really have that kind of time that our mothers had. They don't have. So what can today's woman do to help our daughter who is not ready, for intimate relationship? What can that mother do to help this daughter stay safe?
Okay, even though we have a lot of working class women nowadays, I think there's still a way out.
What is that way out? That
And
is
number one is to have, in a week, you cannot tell me Monday to Sunday you are busy. You should have a particular day set outside to always have meeting with your children. Communicate with them. Talk to them. Have open communication with them. Talk about sex education. Don't hide it. You know those days when we were growing up, my mom would say, if any man touch you,
you don't get belly.
You don't get belly. Mama, it was later I discovered that it is not touching that causes pregnancy. It's not touching now. Why hiding all these things from us? Why hiding it from your children? Hit the name on the head. It is not touching. Let them know that there is something beyond touching. You keep on telling your children, if man touch you, you'll get better. It took me a long time that even that time, if you want to touch me, I go dress. Because I feel say as you don't touch me, I go miss my period the next day. It is not touching that causes pregnancy. Do you know why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know why? What happened during their time is not what is happening in this Gen Z generation. You will see 20 years old girl, her body count is already 20, if not even more than. But those days, will you try it? Even our time, and I told you, the guidelines that my mommy placed on ground, that you dare not cross it. If you do it.
How many women have that time today?
That was the reason I said there is still time if you don't want disgrace. If you, it's even obvious that a lot of women, that disgrace self, now they are powder. Because girl come out now, you buy parfait one. You are angry as a mother. Why did you not buy two? Why one? Is your child working? I think last week I was telling one of my friends, I was like, Osas, see people just they wear both straight coils everywhere. We won't be saying they work. Fear not they let us buy hair.
You're right.
I go calculate, so I will do instrumental payment, they deposit for months before I can buy it. Thank God for people thank God for those people selling that allowed instrumental payment. But nowadays, Mama, as you are even there depositing 20,000, you will see a young girl that will come and drop 300 and carry her. She will pay cash. My friend now say, you know go come on your eye. One night they don't buy those.
Where did they get this money from?
2 stand whatever, they don't pay for those things. But you are working, waiting for monthly salary.
You know, I boarded a taxi one day, and we're going, and then when we check the tariff, I said, okay, and then the guy said, madam, you will add something to me. I said, why? Is this not what your tariff says? I'll pay you what I owe you when I get to my destination. I say, no, if it's one of these Gen Z girls now, they will just give you something big. I said, what did you say? So one of these Gen Z girls, now just one phone call, they're making 150,000. And somebody was saying that there's this little girl, barely 18, who stays around her areas, who charges between 200 and 250,000 naira for hookup. How did we get it wrong?
Do you know that?
Why are mothers encouraging disgrace?
If you are not doing it to, like some women, if you are their child and you are not even doing these things, you don't know anything.
I don't understand these things that you're saying. What are they doing? You
just are not doing
you just said hit the nail on the head. So
if you are not doing hookup, you don't have a Yahoo boyfriend. Do you even know even girls of nowadays, Mama? They are not ready for dating, courtship.
Stop making me feel old. Call me Adesua.
Oh, Auntie Ade. They don't like dating. We see some on social media on daily basis. They don't want to date. They will tell you, I'm not available for dating. Hookup is okay. I want to go into it. Why? Because just one night, they will have everything. They will have the money that even civil servants, senior civil servants will not earn in a month.
Let me tell you something. Let me break your heart further. Do you know that these are young girls are seeing all of these things? Because these girls will do what they want to do. They come on TikTok to flaunt it. And our young ones, they use phone.
Yes.
And they are seeing all of these. They are copying all of these. How do we save them? How do we help them? You remember once upon a time where a 10-year-old girl or so, a 10-year-old girl was doing had a sex video. You remember that time?
I'm trying to remember.
Small girl, I think between 10 and 11 or so, had a sex video.
Yes, I remember.
She had a TikTok page then. She was just 10. And she already knew what sex is. So you know that a lot of our children know what sex is already. But how do we help them?
But
how do we save them?
Man, I want to also let you know that all these children we are talking about, these teenagers that are already aware of sex life, I can tell you 80% of them learned it from outside, not from their mother. Because we try to hide the truth from them. see, once your child is 10 years old, start lecturing or teaching that child about sex education.
I think 10 is even too far with the kind of things we are seeing in our society today.
It's too far. And I will always tell you, the problem will always go back to we mothers. We should monitor our children. Okay, your child wants phone, you will just give. There is no boundaries, no password, nothing. We don't use password because you want to keep secrets. We also use password on our phones because you want to hide some things from your children. Because even nowadays, even when you don't even have some naked or whatever on your phone, they will always pop up on your phone.
Yes, they do.
Just on their own. So restrict your children from phone until they get to that age, 18 years. Your child wants to do assignment, be there. Don't worry, when I call you, will use my phone and do it. Make sure you are the one monitoring, you are the one typing it. You are the one helping her to get the answer that she wants.
Okay, another thing that parents don't do these days is that 3-letter word sex is an abomination for some parents to talk about it.
Yes.
I remember vividly at a forum, I offered to come talk sex with the girls. And I saw the way some parents reacted. No, 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 no. My child does not do anything. No. I don't want anybody to corrupt my child. And on and on and on and on. I asked the question, does your child watch TV when you're not there? Do they watch movies when you're not there? Do they use your phones when you're not there? It was even a man who was protesting and he said yes. I said, good, I rest my case. You understand?
Yes.
He should use his tongue to count his teeth or use his teeth to count his tongue, whichever one he wants to do. So this so much abominable word that is destroying our children today, how can parents talk to their children about it? And is it only a mother who should talk to the children about sex, or is it also a father's business?
Did you know why I keep on focusing on women?
No, because bad picking and mama get them.
Nah, mama get them.
Okay.
The good one. I remember one time, you know, my child did something that was very wrong. The next thing, my husband say, "Na me make the pikin do am," and it was not me at all. And I can tell you this, you know, when a child is good, it's for the father. But when the child is bad, now the mama, they will even tell you, your mother no, your mama no, like you don't have own brain game. You get. I just feel that at this stage, if you know your husband is too busy, you don't have choice than to do the work of a mother and a father.
Maybe let's take a short break here. When we come back, you come and tell us exactly how a mother should talk sex with the child, the words that she should use. Whether she should say, when Peter went to Jerusalem, or you know the way mothers are, they dance around circles. But what is happening is happening. We'll take a very short break now. When we come back, she will tell us how to go about it. All right, guys, we're still here doing our thing as women on Woman to Woman, and Mabel is about to tell us how you can gather your children together, particularly the female. We're not leaving the male child now. Particularly your female children, how you can talk to them about sex. Not between of quarrel. Not between of when a man holds you, you get pregnant. That is not it. All right, so she's going to be telling us at least a few steps before we round up. So Mabel, the ball is in your court.
I'm here. Okay, I think, you know, when we were talking, I said they should always have meeting. Parents should always have meeting with their children. If you are, if you are the busy type, at least once in a week. When you gather them, tell them about sex education. Tell them, you see this sex we are talking about is not for you, but this is how it is. The reason why you need to tell them, as you are telling them about the sex, also tell them the consequences of unplanned sex. Because if you don't tell them the consequences, they might go and practice it. So when you tell them the consequences, it will put fear in them. So also remind them, when you are talking to them, also remind them about their goal and aspiration. When you tell them that, oh, you want to be a doctor, they will say yes. You want to be a lawyer, okay. You cannot become all of that if you get pregnant along the line.
Okay, that's one line I want to take you up on, because this has happened. If you get pregnant, and a girl got pregnant along the way, and her friends helped her to terminate it. And it was the mother who got to know about it last when complications came up. So, in telling them the consequences, shall we not also tell them that sex is not for them?
Yes, definitely you will tell them sex is not for you. That is the reason. As you are telling them sex is not for you, you will tell them if you do this, this is the consequences. You will tell them. Me, in a way, but it's not 100%, you have to put fear in them. Because we have seen a lot of children who got pregnant along the line. Their parents never rejected them.
Is putting fear in them not a problem in itself? Because see, they have all of these gadgets. They have phones. Even if they don't have phones, they have friends. But they have friends who will tell them. They have friends who have already debuted sex and are not happy that their friends are still, how do they call them now? They have this name they call them. You know, they are still, I don't know, I can't remember this word now, but there's this word that they use. This will never open eye, that kind of a thing. They have debut sex. Do you know that there are young girls, 15, 16, 13, who are in the business of recruiting their friends for boys?
Yes, a lot of them.
And then they get a percentage of whatever the boy is going to give to the girl. Do you know there are girls like that?
We have a lot of them. That is why, as a parent, you will keep on talking. It's not just a day one, as in one day, a day thing. You advise your children this November. You will say, oh, I've spoken with them now. That's all. If you like, you hear. If you like, not hear, now your life. No. You talk today, tomorrow. You will keep on talking until they get to that phase in life where you want them to.
You know, naturally, mothers were harsh.
Yeah.
So what manner of approach are mothers supposed to use to talk to their daughters?
Be your daughter's best friend.
I don't hear him.
Be your daughter's best friend. Be a friend that your daughter cannot do without you. If anything happens, okay, look at what happened. I don't know if we have time. I did a video before I came here today. There was a story that came to my table today. One woman had 3 children. Another man was molesting them through anus.
3 children?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The children, they finally find out under that man's roof was 16 children. Not big girls, so 16 boys, teenage boys. From
it was sodomizing them.
Like, do you know one died along the line because his born private part was now getting swollen on a daily basis. It was hospital they discovered it. But one woman inside among all these reports, 3 of her children were part of this thing. But she never discovered it one day. Even to the extent that it was, the woman is a tailor, I will not mention name. It was one of her girl in the shop that I said, the way this your son is working is unusual. Like, this is not how he used to work. Her anus was not paining him. He cannot walk well. The mother never discovered it. If that child was your best friend, how is it possible? He will relate to you and say, "Mommy, look at what is going on." But because you are harsh, you are violent, you want to pass all your message with fight and fire, they won't get anything. Like person like me, personally, if you shout at me, I will not get any message you want to pass to me.
All right, maybe time is not our friend. I wish we could go on and on and on. Let's just round this up now with you saying one sentence or one statement to that mother who is finding it difficult to talk about sex to the child, who is finding it difficult to teach her child how to set boundaries, who is finding it so difficult to teach her child to have a voice to speak up, to say no and mean it.
Well, I will say be your child's best friend, whether male or female. Be so much close to them that they can relate anything to you. And one word I will not forget to say, make sure you spend money on your children, so that they will not go outside and get it. And also make sure that as a mother there is peace in that home. Because if they don't have peace, they will go out there and get the peace.
All right, people, this is it for today on the program. Try and bring your children's best friend as a mother, because you are that very first person the child knows. So be your child's best friend. Create as much time as you can for your child and try to observe your children. And don't be judgmental when they talk to you.
Yeah.
So that you will be able to help them set boundaries, have a voice to say no, and mean it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
Hello there, thank you for joining us on this special interview series on independent television. And I'm Sonny Duke Okosun. Our guest today on the program is the Ambassador of the European Union to Nigeria and ECOWAS. As a matter of fact, the Ambassador of the European Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, His Excellency Ambassador Gauthier Mignon. Thank you for obliging us your time.
Thank you very much for your kind invitation, sir.
Okay, how would you describe your presence in Benin so far? Is this your first time in Benin City?
Actually, it's my second time, but I came in a private visit the first time because I hadn't presented my credentials yet to Mr. President, so I could not engage officially by the time. So this time it's the first official visit. And I came really with an intention to see how, to review the cooperation we are having with Edo State and to try to see how we can scale it up. But I took the opportunity to visit yesterday to participate to a private preview of the Museum of West African Arts here in Edo State, which is a project that I already saw last year when I came first to Benin City.
So how would you describe the level of partnership between the European Union and, of course, Nigeria, and particularly Edo State?
Well, with Nigeria, the European Union, together with its member states and its development banks, what we call Team Europe, I think is the first partner, is Nigeria's first partner in many areas, in trade and investment in particular, and also in cooperation in many areas. And we have 730 million euros in grants for bilateral cooperation with Nigeria between 2041 and 2027, plus also sizable amounts of loans, subsidized loans. And with Edo State, we've had good cooperation in several areas. I'm thinking in particular of support to migration governance and support to stranded migrants returning to Nigeria, and many of them are from Edo State. And in the last few years, we supported more than 23,000 people to come back and reintegrate into their communities nationally, and many of them in Edo State, just to name an example. So we think we can do more in other areas. We're also working in digital economy, in renewable energy, and also in projects for communities. But I always come with states so important like Edo State with an idea of how to try to improve and strengthen what we are doing already.
All right. What is the policy thrust of the European Union in terms of opportunities for young people as it relates to education?
Well, for us, education is key, and young people are a cross-cutting priority in a country like Nigeria. So in all our projects, we integrate a dimension for young people and also for women. And in particular, as far as young people are concerned, we are funding a big national project called Nigeria Jubilee Fellowship Program. It's about helping young graduates to integrate into labor markets by funding a 12-month scholarship for having internships in medium and small size enterprises or public service to get a first professional experience. And this is something that we are now scaling up with the federal government. And we are also offering possibilities of studies in Europe, particularly through the Erasmus program. We have more than 100 Nigerians going every year to Europe to study a master in the framework of the Erasmus program.
All right. What is the policy thrust of the European Union in terms of opportunities for young people as it relates to education?
Well, for us, education is key, and young people are a cross-cutting priority in a country like Nigeria. So in all our projects, we integrate a dimension for young people and also for women. And in particular, as far as young people are concerned, we are funding a big national project called Nigeria Jubilee Fellowship Program. It's about helping young graduates to integrate into labor markets by funding a 12-month scholarship for having internships in medium and small size enterprises or public service
to get a first professional experience, and this is something that we are now scaling up with the federal government. And we are also offering possibilities of studies in Europe, in particular through the Erasmus program. We have more than 100 Nigerians going every year to Europe to study a master in the framework of the Erasmus program in particular.
Fantastic. If you just join us, we have with us the ambassador of the European Commission delegation to Nigeria and Africa, who is in Edo State currently on a private visit, engaging him on a wide range of issues, looking at the partnership between the Commission and Nigeria, and particularly Edo State. Ambassador Mignot, let me quickly take you on a trending issue in Nigeria right now, which has to do with violence, extremism, and the talk around genocide against Christians is gaining momentum across the world, particularly in the US and several other places. What's the Commission's perspectives on this issue, and what is the intention in terms of helping Nigeria to deal with banditry, Boko Haram, and all other extremism that we're seeing playing up in the country right now?
I think it's important not to exaggerate or oversimplify situations which are very complex in Nigeria in terms of violence and insecurity. Of course, it's a big concern for everybody, including for us. We are very much committed with freedom of religion and belief in particular, and of course, any attack against communities or individuals because of their religion
must be condemned, unacceptable. But at the same time, we stand in solidarity with Nigeria, with the victims of the attacks, of course, and with the overwhelming majority of Nigerians who are willing to coexist peacefully beyond ethnic or religious differences. And so we stand in solidarity with Nigeria to fight the many drivers of violence and insecurity. And religion is only one of them. And we've been supporting Nigeria for many years through many projects of peace building, of de-radicalization, demobilization of former members of non-state armed groups, for instance. And we are ready to do more. The European Union some 12 years ago received the Nobel Prize for Peace. And so we always feel the necessity to be up to this great distinction that we received, to work on peace building, to work also and strengthen our relationship on security and defense with Nigeria, but in a spirit of partnership and of respect for Nigeria's sovereignty.
Fantastic. You're here specifically because of the Museum of West African Arts, MOA, which of course was launched just a few days ago. But what's your take on the current issues surrounding the Museum of West African Arts, particularly against the background of some of the things that happened there, during the inauguration of the center? You were there.
I was there. It was not an inauguration of the museum, actually. Okay. It was just a private preview, because the organizer, I think very wisely, decided, as there were some criticisms, to postpone the formal inauguration of the museum. They announced this already a few days ago. And so yesterday was just a private preview for partners, friends, diplomats like myself and other European ambassadors. The EU has no direct involvement in this project. We are not funding this project. We might do it in the future because we want to partner more with museums and cultural institutions in West Africa and Nigeria, but we have no direct involvement so far. So I came here really to see the advancement of this very wonderful project I discovered last year when I came first, which is a great opportunity for Edo State, for Nigeria, and for West Africa. It's a West African museum. It's not about only Benin or Edo State or Nigeria, it's West African. And I must say that the experience that we had yesterday was quite unpleasant and deplorable, because this private event on a private property was disrupted by so-called protesters who came in, allowed by the police, because there was security all around, but they left them in.
And they disrupted the whole event. So it's exactly how you scale off. You scale off investors and development partners coming in good faith, to partner with your community. And Germany, for instance, has invested 8.5 million euros in this project. If now they see that this project cannot operate normally, I mean, the conclusions will be quite clear, not only for Germany, but for all European stakeholders.
Fantastic. Let's look at a general issue that relates to the involvement of the Western world in Africa in terms of development, in terms of partnership, in terms of insecurity. Talking about partnership, we're seeing, the European Union, for example, always disposed to giving loans to African countries, Nigeria inclusive. The perspective of these loans being a trap for developing countries, underdeveloped countries. What are your thoughts? What's the Commission perspectives on this?
Well, this is a trap where we felt collectively, the lenders and our African partners 30 years ago, and we had at the time to pardon part of this debt, to do a whole work to get out of this situation. So now, through, in particular, our new cooperation strategy, which is called the Global Gateway Strategy, we are very attentive not to fall again into this trap. So we limit the level of indebtedness of partner countries. We give subsidized loans. We don't want to fall again into this trap. And what we are seeing with concern is that African countries, some of them, are falling again into this situation with other lenders, not the European Union, because we've learned from our first experience. So this is why now we work very much with financial instruments, blending loans with grants, for instance, subsidized loans which create revenues for the country, so making sure that they can be reimbursed. So it's really a point we are very attentive to.
On a global scale, we've seen the disappearance of peace, so to speak, at the global level. I mean, the Hamas-Israeli crisis there's a ceasefire, there's some sort of agreement, but we're still seeing some measure of violence. We saw recently the RSF activities in Sudan, particularly in Al-Fasher. That crisis is still going on. And these activities or events that are unfolding globally that undermines peace globally, what's your perspective of the fact that it's like the world is hamstrung in terms of dealing with these issues, nipping them at the bud before it blossoms, it flourishes, snowballs into huge crisis like you're seeing now in Sudan? Hunger is there in Hamas. There's starvation, there's poverty, and all of these issues happening. Why is it so difficult for the world leaders to have a consensus in terms of how they can collectively respond to these issues?
Because we have collective rules in the United Nations Charter, international law. And what we have seen over the last 10 years or so is that very important players have not respected these rules. Take the case of Russia in particular.
Yeah, Russia and Ukraine.
The Russian invasion to Ukraine, which started in fact in 2014, then it became full scale in 2022. Then we, from a permanent member of the Security Council, a country which is supposed to be a guarantor of these rules, then it shows that everybody can do anything and violates international law without punishment. And so this is why it's so important, and this is why the European Union insisted so much that all countries in the world had to condemn the Russian invasion to Ukraine. And most countries, including Nigeria, have done that. But others, including large democracies, have not done so.
When you say large democracy, are you talking about the US?
The US has done so, but others have not. And then, other crises also popped up. And then when the law starts to be broken here and there, it just becomes contagious.
Ambassador Gottner-Mignot, thank you so much for your time. Truly appreciate this conversation.
Pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I've been talking with Ambassador Mignot, who is the head of the European delegation to Nigeria and Africa, is currently in Edo State on a visit, and we've been engaging him on a wide range of issues. Thank you for staying with us and have a beautiful day ahead. Bye for now.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy. Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
Thank you so much for joining us again on the program News Review for today. I am Deborah Ivi Ugbefun. The Federal High Court in Abuja, during Reconda review, sentenced the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, to life imprisonment upon his conviction on the offense of terrorism. Justice James Omotosho handed down the sentence while concluding the more than 6 hours judgment on Kanu's trial in Abuja.
The judgment delivery commenced at about 10 a.m. with Nnamdi Kanu sent out of the courtroom for constituting a nuisance and exhibiting unruly conduct.
I am a judge. You can't be a judge. You don't know law. You don't know law. Nonsense. Where is the final place? Where is it? Which law gave you the right?
Justice James Omotosho found him guilty on all 7 counts preferred against him by the DSS. The court then sentenced him to life imprisonment in relation to count 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 of the 7-count charge in which he was prosecuted. For count 3 relating to belonging to a prescribed terrorist group, Justice Omotosho sentenced him to 20 years imprisonment without an option of fine. On count 7, bordering on his unlawful importation of a radio transmitter for the purpose of furthering the clandestine activities of Radio Biafra, which is not registered in Nigeria, the judge sentenced him to 5 years imprisonment without an option of fine. The judge, who notes that Kanu had been unruly throughout the trial, says the law allows the court to impose death penalty for terrorism offenses, but that he, as a Christian, chose to be merciful to him. Justice Omotosho orders that Kanu be kept in protective custody in any part of the country, but not in Kuje Prison, Abuja, and that the radio transmitter be forfeited to the federal government. After the judgment, parties in the matter briefed press.
The judiciary has salvaged Nigeria from the claws, from the oppression of the proscribed IPOB. The court has also pronounced death sentence on Eastern Security Network, which was the military wing of IPOB. Today, God has brought an end to injustice, oppression, suffered by our brothers and sisters of the eastern states of Nigeria.
We disagree with the judgment vehemently.
Completely.
Yes. Yes. And we are going to fight it from here onwards until justice is done.
Yes. From Abuja, Joseph Kadri, ITV News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, during week under review, vowed to deploy all instruments of the state to rescue all the school children recently adopted by bandits in Kebbi State and ensure that their adopters, as well as the killers of the gallant military officer, Brigadier General Musa Uba, and the vice principal, were made to face the full rods of justice. The message was delivered by the Vice President, Kashif Shettima, who spoke in Brini Kebbi, the Kebbi State capital, on the directive of the President.
Upon arrival in Kebbi, Vice President Kashim Shettima immediately met with the state governor and other stakeholders. The Vice President, who led the federal government delegation, read the written speech of President Bola Tinubu. Extending President Tinubu's sympathy to families of the abducted school girls and the state government, Shettima described the abduction of the school girls from the boarding school in Maga as an assault on the collective conscience of all Nigerians.
Your Excellency, Kebbi's pain is Nigeria's pain. When one child is taken, every home in this nation grieves. When girls, in the safety of their classroom, are seized by criminals, our collective conscience is assaulted.
The Vice President promised that the federal government would support the family of the late General Uba, the late Vice Principal of the school, and others who were killed by terror groups while doing everything possible to rescue the abducted schoolgirls.
We also honor the ultimate sacrifice made by some of our brave officers and soldiers. To the family of the late Brigadier General Musa Uba, we say his sacrifice will never be forgotten. When a soldier gives his life in defense of this nation, a part of our collective soul is touched.
The Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris thanked the President for the show of support, concern, and immense leadership. He says religious leaders in the state have been mandated to pray day and night for the release of the girls.
And we have directed all our clerics in the states continue to pray. We know they are doing, but we ask them to add more effort to ensure that day and night continue to pray so that we will see this out.
Ikaro Atta, ITV News.
Also in the week, we reported that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu praised the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, as a statesman whose actions helped safeguard Nigeria's democracy at a critical moment. He gave the commendation while speaking at the 10th anniversary dinner of the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation in Abuja.
President Bola Tinubu was represented at the event by his deputy, Vice President Kashim Shettima. He described former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan as a guardian of Nigerians' collective value, whose legacy continues to resonate beyond his time in office. President Tinubu says Goodluck Jonathan's decision to concede the 2015 presidential election remains a defining lesson in leadership and a testament to democratic maturity. He emphasized that Jonathan had demonstrated the principle that nobody's ambition supersedes the sovereignty of the state, urging Nigerians to embrace tolerance and respect electoral outcomes.
The man at the center of this gathering, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, stands as a profound lesson on life after public service. A statesman who preserves our democracy at a moment when it matters most.
President Tinubu also warned that global democracy, including in West Africa, had come under severe strain over the last decade, weakened by adventurous, extremists, actors intoxicated by power, and those who see institutions as inconveniences and election as mere formalities. In his speech, former President Goodluck Jonathan expressed sympathy over recent incident of abduction and attack across the country, urging political leaders to show greater responsibility in addressing threats to the security and welfare of Nigerians.
We condole with the families of the people who have lost their lives, the general, the vice principal of the school, and all the other people that are still in detention. We pray that this country get out of this situation very soon.
Guest speaker Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers highlighted the importance of functional democratic institutions and stressed that the young people must be central to efforts aimed at stabilizing the continent. From Abuja, Ikaro Atta, ITV News.
7 Edo federal lawmakers in the House of Representatives on Tuesday last week moved for urgent investigation into the establishment, funding, and implementation framework of the Museum of West African Art, MOA. Honorable Esosa Yahweh, who moved the motion under urgent public importance, raised serious questions of alleged financial impropriety and foreign interference.
The Museum of West African Art, MOA, was founded in 2020 as an independent non-profit establishment to preserve West African heritage and showcase contemporary creativity, with its first purpose-built campus later opening in Benin City. In this motion, sponsored by 7 Edo State federal lawmakers in the House of Representatives on Tuesday by Honorable Billy Usawaru, Honorable Esosa Yahweh, Honorable Julius Ihambere, Honorable Peter Patterson, Honorable Marcos Sonobu, Honorable Okoji Odianosen, and Right Honorable Gabriela Igbinedion Omosade, the lawmakers called to question the issues of control of the museum left in the hands of private or foreign interest, contrary to Nigeria's sovereignty over its cultural patrimony.
Credible reports and public commentary suggested that the structure of ownership, governance, and donor involvement in MOA may have created a framework that places undue influence on control in the hands of private or foreign interest, contrary to Nigeria's sovereignty over its cultural patrimony.
We have a problem when it comes to the organizational and legal framework of this so-called Museum of West African Arts, otherwise known as MOA. Mr. Speaker, this exercise of MOA is shrouded in a lot of secrecy. We must be very careful because this involves a lot of international donors.
The lawmakers want an ad hoc committee constituted to investigate the establishment, funding sources, governance framework, and donor agreement relating to the Museum of West African Art, MOA, in Edo State, with a view to determining the level of government involvement and oversight, the nature and extent of donor participation and influence, the legal and financial implications of all existing agreement, and the safeguard measures in place to protect Nigeria's ownership and control of its cultural assets. From the House of Representatives, Ogane Victor, ITV News.
In the same vein, we told you during the week on review that Edo State House of Assembly announced The public hearing on the outcome of investigations into the Radisson Blu Hotel and the Museum of West African Arts, MOWA.
A public hearing on the investigations into the Radisson Blu Hotel and the Museum of West African Arts, MOWA, scheduled for Thursday, November 20th and Friday, November 21st, 2025, will hold at the Edo State House of Assembly complex by 10 a.m. daily. The Speaker of the 8th Assembly, Right Honorable Blessing Agbebaku, made the announcement as lawmakers returned from recess during Tuesday's plenary. He also noted that invitations have been dispatched to all relevant stakeholders.
The public hearing conducted by 2 ad hoc committees set up by the House to investigate the Museum of West African Arts, MOWA, and Radisson Blu Hotel in Edo State, respectively.
In another development, lawmakers deliberated on a bill seeking to establish the Edo State Economic Planning and Development Council. Honorable Isibo Ade, representing Esan Northeast Constituency 1, and other lawmakers expressed their support for the bill.
It is very important that local government council chairmen work hand in hand with His Excellency the Governor of the state to have a proper economic direction of how the councils will operate in every financial year.
Additionally, a bill aimed at regulating building construction and curbing irregularities in the real estate sector passed its second reading. Lawmakers, including Honorable Donald Okogbe, representing Akoko Edo Constituency 2, spoke in favor of its passage.
In the area of regulation of rents of estate agency practitioner, you go to site, everybody is an engineer, even the man who was a service yesterday. This bill seeks to regulate all of that.
From Benin, Joy Obaisiagmo, ITV News.
On politics, we told you during week under review that the crisis within the People's Democratic Party continues as a faction loyal to National Chairman Kabiru Turaki, SAN, and the faction aligned with the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, both made attempts to take control of the party's national secretariat in Abuja. The chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Senator Bala Mohammed, and Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde were also present to support Turaki's National Working Committee. The area recorded a heavy presence of security personnel.
The massive deployment of heavily armed police officers for the separate NWC meetings by both factions at the same venue speaks clearly to an anticipated outbreak of violence. The Turaki faction arrived with Governors Bala Mohammed, Seyi Makinde, and former Governor of Kano State, Ibrahim Shekarau. After some struggles at the gate, they gained entrance and proceeded into the neck hall for their meeting. After a short while, they briefed the press.
And you can see the Minister of the FCT coming himself in person, being backed by the police. We have been tear gassed as governors. We have been molested in spite of our immunity in time. I will advise the presidency that it should not keep people who are no longer useful in terms of managing the political space, managing our diversity.
Shortly after they exited, an escort convoy announced the arrival of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. He experienced difficulty accessing the complex as the governors blocked the gate. But after the police fired tear gas canisters, he gained access into the building. The governors returned to the building. Another round of tear gas was fired by security personnel of the Nigerian police. National Chairman Kabiru Turaki, SAN, calls on the international community, particularly the U.S. President Donald Trump, to intervene in support of democratic process in Nigeria.
We will be now calling on international community. I want to call on President Trump. What is at stake is not just genocide against Nigerian Christians. He should come and save democracy in Nigeria. Democracy is under threat. I'm calling on all other developed nations, all advanced democracies, come and save Nigeria. Come and save democracy.
During the standoff, Governor Bala Mohammed held a brief conversation with a representative of the police commissioner, stating he will remain at the premises until Wike left. He then reconvened with his team for their scheduled meeting.
Then tell him I will
Yes, otherwise we'll be here after the next tomorrow. Then it's not good for this boy.
What we're fighting for, yes, this is not PDP issue at all.
It's our survival.
It is survival of democracy.
Police continue to release tear gas canisters in the vicinity. Meanwhile, the Wiki faction held its own meeting at the same time. During this meeting, it announced the expulsion of Bala Muhammad, Sheyi Makinde, Dawda Lawan, and Bode George. Both meetings concluded around the same period, with Wiki leaving the premises first.
From the National Secretariat of the PDP,
Joseph Kadri, ITV News.
As a mark of honor and recognition of the fatherly disposition of the Esama of Benin and honorary Romanian consul to Edo and Delta States of Nigeria, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawaru Igbeneghu, the Zonal Director of NTA Benin, Mrs. Tenny Ajayi, led other management staff of the station to the house of Igbeneghu on a courtesy call. The children of late DIG Harry Osayande also visited the Esama of Benin to appreciate him for his support during their father's burial.
The NTA management, led by the Zonal Director, Tenny Ajayi, were received on arrival at the House of Igbeneghu by the Executive Director, Operations, ITV and Radio, Senior Edogbedo Onse. Mrs. Tenny Ajayi eulogized the shining leadership disposition of the Esama, whom she said has been a source of encouragement to her predecessors. She informed the Esama of Benin that she has recently been posted to head Benin Zonal Office and thought it wise to come and intimate the Esama of Benin about the progress of work in NTA Benin.
Your Excellencies, Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawaru Igbeneghu, the Esama of Benin Kingdom, I'm honored to visit your esteemed residence as the Zonal Director of NTA Benin with my management team. We bring warm greetings from the extended NTA family and appreciate your warm reception, unwavering support, and partnership.
The host and Esama of Benin, an honorary Romanian consul to Edo and Delta States of Nigeria, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawaru Igbeneghu, thanked the august visitor. The Esama praised NTA management for their dogged determination to continue to improve on the quality of their broadcast programs. He expressed the hope that Mrs. Tenny Ajayi will take the Benin Network Center to another level.
Everybody that come do their own and go, they steady working, your production, and it's a problem. I'm so happy.
The children of late DIG Pari Osayande were also at the House of Igbeneghu to thank the Esama of Benin for his support to the family during the recently concluded burial of their father.
I came to say thank you to our very, very dear father, who has been such an immeasurable support to us since we lost our dad. He's just been there for us.
Late Deputy Inspector General of Police Pari Osayande was a bosom friend of the Esama of Benin. He was the Esama's best man in London during the wedding of his late wife, Mrs. Irene Igbeneghu, mother of former DG Nigerian Airports Authority, Mr. Peter Igbeneghu. From Benin, Pius Nsogo, ITV News.
The Speaker, Edo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Blessing Agbebako, appeals to the Federal Road Maintenance Agency during week under review to rehabilitate federal roads in Edo State, which he described as being in deplorable condition. Now moving on to some security reports now. Edo State Police Command during week under review assured residents that it is intensifying strategies to curb the rising cases of kidnapping and other crimes across the state, particularly incidents recorded in farming communities. The Command's Public Relations Officer, CSP Moses Yamu, explained that several initiatives, including the Community Safety Partnership, strengthened intelligence gathering, and embraced synergy with sister security agencies, are being implemented to address insecurity in the state. In the same vein, we told you during week under review, the operatives of the Edo State Security Service Corps arrested 3 suspects in separate incidents involving burglary and alleged sexual molestation of minors in Ubo and Esige areas of Benin City. The suspects have been handed over to the police for further investigation. In case you're just joining us, the program is News Review. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, the program News Review will continue. Please do stay tuned. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the program News Review. Now moving on Tuesday last week, Oba Market traders staged a heated protest at King Square, blocking the entrance of Edo State House of Assembly. The protesters appealed to the legislators to help them resolve the recent order for traders to vacate the markets by January 2026. And a cheerful note reported last week that the Executive Director of Operations, Independent Television and Radio, Chief Eda Ogbeide Ogunwusi, was commended for his immense contributions to the media industry. The commendation came during the 8th edition of the Best of Edo Awards 2025, held at the Sir Victor Waifo Creative Hall, Benin City, where he was honored with the Media Icon of the Year award. The chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Dr. Festus Alenhe, Ambassador Lancelot Oduwa Imasuen, among others, were also honored for excellence in their various fields of human endeavor.
On behalf of Best of Edo Award, because certainly you are one of the best in your chosen area.
The Executive Director Operations, ITV and Radio, Chief Elder Ogbeide Ogunwusi, received the Media Icon Award for 2025, surrounded by friends, colleagues, and family members. The Best of Edo Awards, established in 2018, aims to recognize and honor illustrious sons and daughters of Edo State who have distinguished themselves in their respective careers. The initiative is championed by Sir Paul Ofoni, the visionary and chief executive.
We celebrate not just achievements, but the spirit of excellence, innovation, and distinction that defines the Edo people across the world.
20 notable personalities of Edo extraction, accompanied by their families and friends, received various awards. The chairman of NUJ Edo State, Dr. Festus Alenke, was honored for his contributions to the growth of journalism, while iconic filmmaker Ambassador Lancelot Oduwa Imasuen, with countless movies and home videos to his credit, was also recognized alongside others.
For all the good work they are doing for our dear state and for humanity, congratulations.
We congratulate you, our brother Chief Ambassador Dr. Lancelot Oduwa Imasuen.
Special Youth Impact Recognition Award. Congratulations.
The awardees expressed gratitude to the organizers for the honor.
I dedicate this award to my dear wife and my 4 children, and to Independent Television and Radio that has given me the platform to operate, that I am getting this recognition today. Then above all, to Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawaru Igbenedion, the Esama of Benin Kingdom, the Esama of the universe.
Prior to the awards, a documentary of the recipients were on display, which highlighted their impact and contributions. A major side attraction at the ceremony was a captivating performance by a young girl, Kimberly Ofoni, whose songs and poetry reflected the theme of the event, Ideas in Motion. The 8th edition of the Best of Edo Awards showcased fashion, entertainment, and networking opportunities. From Benin, Pius Nsogo, ITV News.
Independent Television and Radio January Conda Review officially unveiled and welcomed its 2025 Father Christmas, Father Paul, at a colorful ceremony held at the corporate head office in Benin City, signaling the beginning of the station's annual festival celebration. Management and staff of the station, led by the Executive Director Operations, Senior Eda Ogbedo Wonsi, were on hand to receive Father Paul, who arrived with loads of gifts for children and guests.
Official reception of Father Paul amidst chairs at the Independent Television Corporate Headquarters. Management and staff of ITV, sponsors from Get Rich Real Estate and Sun Peak Energy, teachers and students of St. Agnes University Preparatory School were in high spirit as they welcomed the august visitor. Executive Director, Operations, Chief Elder Obede Omumase, in his address, described the annual Father Christmas program as one of ITV's longest-running social engagement initiatives designed to create memorable experiences for children while fostering community bonding during the festive season.
The pleasurable experience from the past Father Christmas is nothing compared to what we are going to experience this year.
Director, Independent Radio, Dr. Dano Mosuzi, said the event provides an avenue for the station to fulfill its corporate social responsibilities to the Christian community and also enables staff to feel the essence of the season.
The management of Independent Television and Radio cherish this event.
The event featured a variety of games and entertainment, including a committee umbrella dance, students dance competition, teachers dance competition, and male and female staff dance competition. The high point of the occasion was the distribution of gifts to students and guests in attendance by Father Paul. Some of the students and sponsors commended ITV for the early initiative.
We love you, ITV. We hope to come back next year for another episode of Father Christmas Party.
In a closing remark, Deputy General Manager, Independent Television, Dr. Sonudio Kokosun, announced that the 2025 Father Christmas is open to the public from November 20th, 2025 to January 1st, 2026.
Now that Father Paul is here, we call on schools, churches, corporate organizations to avail themselves of this opportunity to delight their children this Yuletide.
From Benin, Jola Diljo, ITV News.
Without report on ITV Father Christmas, we call it a wrap on today's edition of the program News Review. Do not forget to keep it there to test next week Sunday. We shall be bringing you the program News Review again. I am Deborah Ivie Ugwefron. I'll see you next week. To have a wonderful week ahead. Bye for now.